1. Introduction to storytelling. 1.1 What is storytelling? Storytelling is a fundamental aspect of human communication and has been a part of our culture since the beginning of time. It is the art of conveying a narrative or a sequence of events through words, images, or other forms of expression. Storytelling has the power to captivate, inspire, and entertain, allowing us to connect with others on a deep and emotional level. At its core, storytelling is about sharing experiences, ideas, and emotions. It is a way for individuals to express their creativity, imagination, and unique perspectives. Whether it is through oral traditions, written literature, visual arts, or digital media, storytelling has the ability to transport us to different worlds, evoke strong emotions, and provoke thought. 1.1.1 The purpose of storytelling. Storytelling serves various purposes, depending on the context and the audience. It can be used to entertain, educate, inform, persuade, or inspire. Stories have the power to transport us to different times and places, allowing us to experience the lives of others and gain a deeper understanding of the world around us. 1.1.2 The elements of a story. A story typically consists of several key elements that work together to create a cohesive narrative. These elements include characters, plot, setting, conflict, and resolution. Characters are the individuals or entities that drive the story forward, while the plot is the sequence of events that unfold. The setting provides the backdrop for the story, and the conflict introduces tension and challenges for the characters to overcome. Finally, the resolution brings the story to a satisfying conclusion. 1.1.3 The role of emotion in storytelling. One of the most powerful aspects of storytelling is its ability to evoke emotions in the audience. Emotions play a crucial role in connecting the audience to the story and its characters. By creating relatable characters and compelling narratives, storytellers can elicit a wide range of emotions, such as joy, sadness, fear, anger, or empathy. These emotional connections make the story more memorable and impactful. 1.1.4 The importance of storytelling in society. Storytelling has always been an integral part of human culture and society. It has been used to pass down traditions, preserve history, and convey moral and ethical values. Stories have the power to shape our beliefs, influence our behavior, and inspire social change. They provide a means for individuals to share their experiences, perspectives, and ideas, fostering empathy and understanding among diverse communities. In addition to its cultural significance, storytelling also plays a crucial role in various professional fields. In marketing and advertising, storytelling is used to engage consumers and create emotional connections with brands. In education, storytelling is employed to make complex concepts more accessible and memorable. In leadership and public speaking, storytelling is a powerful tool for inspiring and motivating others. 1.1.5 The evolution of storytelling. Throughout history, storytelling has evolved alongside advancements in technology and communication. From ancient oral traditions to the written word, from books to movies, and from radio to digital media, storytelling has adapted to new mediums and formats. Today, with the rise of social media and online platforms, storytelling has become more accessible and interactive than ever before. The digital age has also given rise to new forms of storytelling, such as interactive storytelling, transmedia storytelling, and immersive storytelling. These innovative approaches allow audiences to actively participate in the narrative, blurring the lines between creator and consumer. As technology continues to advance, the possibilities for storytelling are endless. In conclusion, storytelling is a powerful and universal art form that has the ability to entertain, educate, and inspire. It is a fundamental aspect of human communication and has been a part of our culture for centuries. By understanding the elements of a good story and harnessing the power of emotion, storytellers can create narratives that resonate with audiences and leave a lasting impact. Whether it is through books, movies, or digital media, storytelling will continue to evolve and shape the way we communicate and connect with one another. 1.2 The power of storytelling. Storytelling is a powerful and ancient art form that has been used by humans for centuries to communicate, entertain, and connect with one another. It is a fundamental part of our human experience, and its power lies in its ability to captivate, inspire, and evoke emotions in the audience. The human connection. At its core, storytelling is about human connection. It allows us to share our experiences, thoughts, and emotions with others in a way that is relatable and meaningful. Through stories, we can explore the depths of human nature, understand different perspectives, and empathize with characters who may be vastly different from ourselves. Stories have the power to transcend time and space, allowing us to connect with people from different cultures, eras, and backgrounds. They provide a window into the human condition, allowing us to see ourselves reflected in the characters and situations presented. Whether it's a tale of love, adventure, or personal growth, stories have the ability to touch our hearts and remind us of our shared humanity. Emotional impact. One of the most significant powers of storytelling is its ability to evoke emotions. A well-crafted story can make us laugh, cry, feel joy, or experience fear. It taps into our deepest emotions and can leave a lasting impact on us long after we have finished reading or hearing the story. Emotions are a universal language, and storytelling has the power to evoke a wide range of emotions in its audience. Whether it's the excitement of a thrilling plot twist, the heartache of a tragic ending, or the warmth of a happy resolution, stories have the ability to make us feel alive and connected to the world around us. Inspiring change. Storytelling has the power to inspire change and shape our perspectives. Through stories, we can explore complex issues, challenge societal norms, and provoke thought and reflection. Stories have the ability to shed light on important social, political, and cultural issues, and can be a catalyst for change. By presenting characters who face adversity, overcome challenges, and grow as individuals, storytelling can inspire us to do the same in our own lives. It can encourage us to question our beliefs, challenge the status quo, and strive for personal growth and transformation. Stories have the power to ignite our imagination, broaden our horizons, and inspire us to make a difference in the world. Teaching and learning. Storytelling is not only a form of entertainment but also a powerful tool for teaching and learning. Throughout history, stories have been used to pass down knowledge, wisdom, and cultural traditions from one generation to another. They can educate, inform, and inspire us to learn about different subjects and perspectives. By presenting information in a narrative form, storytelling makes it easier for us to understand and remember complex concepts. It engages our imagination and allows us to visualize and experience the information being conveyed. Whether it's a fable, a historical account, or a scientific discovery, stories have the power to make learning engaging, memorable, and enjoyable. Building empathy and understanding. One of the most significant powers of storytelling is its ability to build empathy and understanding. By immersing ourselves in the lives of characters and experiencing their joys, sorrows, and struggles, we can develop a deeper understanding of the human experience. Through storytelling, we can step into the shoes of characters who may be different from us in terms of their background, culture, or beliefs. This allows us to challenge our preconceived notions, break down stereotypes, and develop a greater sense of empathy and compassion for others. Stories have the power to bridge gaps, foster understanding, and promote tolerance and acceptance. They remind us of our shared humanity and the interconnectedness of our lives. By experiencing different perspectives and narratives, we can develop a more inclusive and compassionate worldview. Conclusion. The power of storytelling lies in its ability to connect, inspire, and transform. It has the capacity to evoke emotions, inspire change, teach and learn, and build empathy and understanding. Whether it's through books, movies, oral traditions, or digital media, storytelling continues to be a vital part of our human experience. It is a timeless art form that has the power to shape our lives and the world around us. 1.3 The elements of a good story. A good story has the power to captivate and engage readers, transporting them to different worlds and allowing them to experience a range of emotions. But what exactly makes a story good? In this section, we will explore the essential elements that contribute to the success of a narrative. 1.3.1 Plot. At the heart of every good story lies a compelling plot. The plot is the sequence of events that drive the story forward and keep readers hooked. It is the backbone of the narrative, providing structure and purpose. A well-crafted plot should have a clear beginning, middle, and end, with each part seamlessly connected to the next. A strong plot is built on conflict and tension. It presents obstacles and challenges that the protagonist must overcome, creating a sense of anticipation and suspense. The plot should also have a sense of progression, with the protagonist undergoing personal growth and transformation as they navigate through the story. 1.3.2 Characters. Characters are the lifeblood of a story. They are the ones who drive the plot forward and connect with readers on an emotional level. Well-developed and relatable characters can make or break a story. A good story should have a protagonist that readers can root for. The protagonist should have clear goals, motivations, and flaws that make them human and relatable. Supporting characters should also be well-rounded and serve a purpose in the story, whether it be to provide conflict, support, or comic relief. 1.3.3 Setting. The setting of a story is more than just a backdrop, it is a vital element that helps create the atmosphere and mood of the narrative. A well-described setting can transport readers to a different time and place, immersing them in the story. A good story should have a setting that is vividly described and adds depth to the narrative. Whether it is a bustling city, a remote island, or a fantastical realm, the setting should be believable and enhance the overall story. It should also be used to reflect the emotions and experiences of the characters, adding another layer of meaning to the narrative. 1.3.4 Theme. Themes are the underlying messages or ideas that a story explores. They provide depth and meaning to the narrative, allowing readers to connect with the story on a deeper level. A good story should have a theme that is thought-provoking and resonates with readers. Themes can be universal, such as love, loss, or the search for identity, or they can be more specific to the story's context. They can be subtly woven into the narrative or explicitly stated through the actions and dialogue of the characters. Themes help give a story a sense of purpose and allow readers to reflect on their own lives and experiences. 1.3.5 Conflict. Conflict is the driving force behind a story. It creates tension, raises stakes, and keeps readers engaged. A good story should have both internal and external conflicts that the characters must face and overcome. Internal conflicts are the struggles that characters face within themselves, such as their fears, doubts, or moral dilemmas. These conflicts add depth to the characters and allow readers to empathize with their struggles. External conflicts, on the other hand, are the obstacles and challenges that characters face from the outside world. These conflicts provide the action and excitement that propel the story forward. 1.3.6 Resolution. A good story should have a satisfying resolution that ties up loose ends and provides closure for the readers. The resolution should address the main conflict of the story and provide a sense of catharsis for the characters and readers alike. The resolution should also be consistent with the rest of the story, staying true to the characters and the world that has been established. It should not feel rushed or forced but should flow naturally from the events that have unfolded throughout the narrative. In conclusion, a good story is a delicate balance of plot, characters, setting, theme, conflict, and resolution. Each element plays a crucial role in creating a narrative that captivates and resonates with readers. By understanding and mastering these elements, writers can craft compelling stories that leave a lasting impact on their audience. 1.4 Why storytelling matters. Storytelling is an ancient art form that has been passed down through generations. It is a fundamental aspect of human communication and has played a crucial role in shaping societies and cultures throughout history. From the earliest cave paintings to the modern-day blockbuster films, storytelling has captivated audiences and allowed us to share our experiences, beliefs, and emotions. 1.4.1 Connecting with others. One of the primary reasons why storytelling matters is its ability to connect people. Stories have the power to transcend boundaries of time, culture, and language, allowing individuals from different backgrounds to find common ground and understand each other's experiences. Whether it's a folk tale from a distant land or a personal anecdote shared among friends, storytelling creates a sense of empathy and fosters a deeper understanding of the human condition. Through storytelling, we can explore the complexities of human emotions, relationships, and struggles. It allows us to step into the shoes of others, experiencing their joys, sorrows, and triumphs. By sharing our stories, we can bridge gaps, break down stereotypes, and build a more inclusive and compassionate society. 1.4.2 Preserving history and culture. Storytelling has been a vital tool for preserving history and culture. Before the invention of writing, stories were passed down orally from one generation to the next, ensuring that important knowledge, traditions, and values were not lost. Even today, storytelling continues to play a crucial role in preserving cultural heritage. Through myths, legends, and folktales, communities have preserved their history, beliefs, and customs. These stories serve as a link to the past, allowing us to understand our roots and the experiences of those who came before us. They provide valuable insights into the values, struggles, and triumphs of different cultures, fostering a sense of pride and identity. 1.4.3 Inspiring and motivating. Storytelling has the power to inspire and motivate individuals. Throughout history, stories of heroes, adventurers, and underdogs have ignited the imagination and sparked a desire for change. By sharing stories of resilience, courage, and determination, we can inspire others to overcome their own challenges and pursue their dreams. Stories have the ability to tap into our emotions and stir our deepest desires. They can awaken a sense of purpose, ignite passion, and drive us to take action. Whether it's a fictional tale or a real-life account, storytelling has the power to move us, challenge our perspectives, and push us to strive for greatness. 1.4.4 Teaching and learning. Storytelling is an effective tool for teaching and learning. From childhood, we are exposed to stories that convey moral lessons, cultural values, and educational concepts. Through narratives, complex ideas can be simplified and made more accessible, allowing for a deeper understanding and retention of information. By incorporating storytelling into education, teachers can engage students and make learning more enjoyable and memorable. Stories have the ability to capture attention, stimulate imagination, and create a context for learning. They provide a framework for understanding complex subjects and encourage critical thinking and problem-solving skills. 1.4.5 Emotional impact and entertainment. Storytelling has the ability to evoke a wide range of emotions, from joy and laughter to sadness and fear. By immersing ourselves in a well-crafted story, we can experience a roller coaster of emotions, allowing us to connect with our own feelings and empathize with the characters. In addition to its emotional impact, storytelling also serves as a form of entertainment. Whether it's through books, movies, or oral performances, stories provide an escape from reality and offer a source of enjoyment and relaxation. They allow us to explore different worlds, meet fascinating characters, and experience thrilling adventures, all from the comfort of our own imagination. 1.4.6 Shaping identity and values. Storytelling plays a significant role in shaping individual and collective identity. The stories we hear and tell contribute to our understanding of who we are and what we value. They help us make sense of the world and provide a framework for our beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors. Through stories, we learn about societal norms, cultural traditions, and moral values. They shape our perception of right and wrong, guide our decision-making, and influence our interactions with others. By sharing stories that reflect diverse perspectives and experiences, we can promote inclusivity, tolerance, and respect for different cultures and beliefs. 1.4.7 Inspiring change. Lastly, storytelling has the power to inspire change. Throughout history, stories have been used as a catalyst for social and political movements. They have shed light on injustices, challenged the status quo, and sparked conversations that lead to positive transformations. By sharing stories that address important social issues, we can raise awareness, promote empathy, and inspire action. Stories have the ability to humanize complex problems and make them relatable to a wider audience. They can ignite a sense of responsibility and motivate individuals to work towards a more just and equitable society. In conclusion, storytelling matters because it connects us, preserves our history and culture, inspires and motivates, facilitates teaching and learning, evokes emotions, shapes identity and values, and inspires change. It is a powerful tool that has the ability to transcend time and space, leaving a lasting impact on individuals and society as a whole. 2. The art of character development. 2.1 Creating memorable characters. Characters are the heart and soul of any story. They are the driving force behind the narrative, the ones who captivate readers and keep them engaged from beginning to end. Creating memorable characters is essential for crafting a compelling and immersive story that resonates with readers long after they have finished reading. 2.1.1 Understanding the importance of memorable characters. Memorable characters are the ones that readers connect with on a deep emotional level. They are the ones that readers root for, empathize with, and invest their time and emotions in. These characters have a lasting impact on readers, leaving a lasting impression and making the story unforgettable. When readers remember a story, it is often the characters that stand out the most. Think about some of the most beloved and iconic characters in literature, such as Harry Potter, Sherlock Holmes, or Elizabeth Bennet. These characters have become cultural icons because they are well-developed, relatable, and have unique qualities that make them stand out. Memorable characters not only enhance the reading experience but also drive the plot forward. They are the ones who face challenges, make choices, and undergo personal growth throughout the story. Without well-crafted characters, the plot can feel flat and uninteresting, lacking the emotional depth that keeps readers engaged. 2.1.2 Developing complex and multi-dimensional characters. To create memorable characters, it is important to develop them as complex and multi-dimensional individuals. One-dimensional characters can feel flat and uninteresting, while multi-dimensional characters have depth and complexity that make them feel real. Start by giving your characters a unique personality. Consider their strengths, weaknesses, quirks, and flaws. What are their fears, desires, and motivations? What are their past experiences that have shaped who they are? By delving into these aspects, you can create characters that feel authentic and relatable. Another important aspect of character development is giving them a compelling backstory. A character's backstory helps readers understand their motivations and actions. It adds depth and complexity to their personality, making them more than just a collection of traits. Think about their upbringing, their relationships, and the events that have shaped their lives. Characters should also have clear goals and motivations. What do they want to achieve? What drives them to take action? By giving your characters clear goals, you create a sense of purpose and direction in the story. This also allows for conflict and tension to arise as characters pursue their goals and face obstacles along the way. 2.1.3 Creating memorable character descriptions. When introducing your characters to readers, it is important to provide vivid and memorable descriptions. Physical appearance is just one aspect of character description, but it can help readers visualize the characters in their minds. Describe your character's physical features in a way that is unique and evocative. Instead of simply stating their hair color or eye color, focus on the details that make them stand out. Are their eyes a striking shade of blue that seems to sparkle with mischief? Does their hair have a wild, untamed quality that matches their free-spirited personality? By using descriptive language, you can bring your characters to life in the reader's imagination. However, character descriptions should not be limited to physical appearance alone. It is equally important to describe their mannerisms, gestures, and the way they carry themselves. These details can reveal a lot about a character's personality and add depth to their portrayal. 2.1.4 Building relationships and interactions. Memorable characters are not only defined by their individual traits but also by their relationships and interactions with other characters. The dynamics between characters can create tension, conflict, and emotional depth in the story. Consider the relationships between your characters and how they influence each other. Do they have close friendships, bitter rivalries, or complicated love interests? How do these relationships evolve throughout the story? By exploring the dynamics between characters, you can create compelling and realistic interactions that drive the plot forward. Dialogue is another powerful tool for developing memorable characters. Each character should have a distinct voice and way of speaking that reflects their personality. Pay attention to their word choices, speech patterns, and the way they express themselves. This will make their dialogue more authentic and help readers differentiate between characters. 2.1.5 Balancing strengths and flaws. To create well-rounded and memorable characters, it is important to strike a balance between their strengths and flaws. Characters who are too perfect can come across as unrealistic and unrelatable, while characters who are entirely flawed can be difficult for readers to connect with. Give your characters strengths that make them admirable and capable, but also give them flaws that make them human and relatable. Flaws can create internal conflicts within characters and add depth to their development. It is through overcoming their flaws that characters grow and evolve throughout the story. By creating memorable characters that are complex, multi-dimensional, and relatable, you can elevate your storytelling and create a lasting impact on readers. These characters will not only drive the plot forward but also resonate with readers long after they have finished reading. So take the time to develop your characters with care and attention to detail, and watch as they come to life on the pages of your story. 2.2 Character Arcs and Growth. In storytelling, one of the most important aspects of creating compelling and memorable characters is their growth and development throughout the narrative. Character arcs play a crucial role in engaging readers and keeping them invested in the story. A character arc refers to the transformation or change that a character undergoes over the course of the story, often driven by their experiences, challenges, and personal growth. 2.2.1 The importance of character arcs. Character arcs are essential because they provide depth and complexity to the characters, making them more relatable and human. When readers witness a character's growth and transformation, it creates a sense of emotional investment and connection. It allows readers to see themselves in the characters and empathize with their struggles and triumphs. Character arcs also serve as a vehicle for the exploration of themes and ideas within the story. Through the evolution of the characters, authors can convey messages and lessons, highlighting the importance of personal growth, resilience, and self-discovery. By showcasing the journey of the characters, authors can inspire readers to reflect on their own lives and experiences. 2.2.2 Types of character arcs. There are several types of character arcs that authors can employ to create compelling narratives. Here are a few common examples. 2.2.2.1 The positive change arc. In this type of character arc, the protagonist starts the story with flaws, weaknesses, or a negative outlook on life. As the story progresses, they encounter challenges and obstacles that force them to confront their shortcomings. Through their experiences, they learn and grow, ultimately transforming into a better version of themselves. This type of arc is often seen in coming-of-age stories or redemption narratives. 2.2.2.2 The negative change arc. Contrary to the positive change arc, the negative change arc involves a character who starts the story as a positive or morally upright individual. However, as the story unfolds, they face difficult choices or succumb to external pressures, leading them down a path of corruption or moral decay. This type of arc is commonly found in tragedies or stories that explore the darker aspects of human nature. 2.2.2.3 The flat arc. In a flat arc, the character remains relatively unchanged throughout the story. Instead of focusing on personal growth, the character serves as a catalyst for change in the world around them. They possess a strong moral compass and unwavering beliefs, which inspire and influence other characters to transform. This type of arc is often seen in mentor or leadership roles, where the character's steadfastness and values guide others. 2.2.2.4 The reversal arc. The reversal arc involves a character who starts the story with a particular belief or perspective, only to have it challenged or completely overturned by the end. This type of arc is characterized by a significant shift in the character's worldview or understanding of themselves and the world. It often leads to a profound transformation and a reevaluation of their values and priorities. 2.2.3 Developing character arcs. Creating effective character arcs requires careful planning and consideration. Here are some key steps to develop compelling character arcs. 2.2.3.1 Establishing the starting point. Before embarking on the character's journey, it is crucial to establish their starting point. This includes defining their personality traits, strengths, weaknesses, and beliefs. Understanding where the character begins allows for a clear contrast with their eventual growth and transformation. 2.2.3.2 Identifying the catalyst. Every character arc needs a catalyst, an event or circumstance that sets the character on their path of change. This catalyst can be a positive or negative experience, a conflict, or an encounter with another character. The catalyst should challenge the character's beliefs or force them to confront their flaws. 2.2.3.3 Mapping the journey. Once the catalyst is established, it is essential to map out the character's journey. This involves plotting the key moments, challenges, and turning points that will shape their growth. Each obstacle or conflict should push the character further along their arc, testing their resolve and forcing them to confront their weaknesses. 2.2.3.4 Allowing for setbacks and growth. Character arcs are not linear, they involve setbacks and moments of regression. It is important to allow the character to stumble and make mistakes along the way. These setbacks provide opportunities for growth and self-reflection, making the character's transformation more realistic and relatable. 2.2.3.5 Resolving the arc. Finally, the character arc should be resolved by the end of the story. This resolution can take various forms, depending on the type of arc and the overall narrative. It should provide a sense of closure and satisfaction for the reader, showcasing the character's growth and the lessons they have learned. 2.2.4 Examples of character arcs in literature. Literature is replete with examples of compelling character arcs that have captivated readers for generations. Here are a few notable examples. In Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, Ebenezer Scrooge undergoes a positive change arc, transforming from a miserly and cold-hearted individual to a generous and compassionate person. In Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird, the protagonist, Scout Finch, experiences a flat arc, remaining true to her moral compass and inspiring others to challenge prejudice and injustice. In F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby, the protagonist, Jay Gatsby, goes through a negative change arc, descending into a world of corruption and obsession in his pursuit of the American dream. These examples demonstrate the power of character arcs in creating memorable and impactful stories. Character arcs and growth are essential components of storytelling. By crafting well-developed and transformative character journeys, authors can engage readers on an emotional level, explore themes and ideas, and create narratives that resonate long after the story ends. 2.3 Building believable characters. Building believable characters is a crucial aspect of storytelling. Readers connect with characters who feel real and relatable, and it is the author's responsibility to create characters that are three-dimensional, with depth and complexity. In this section, we will explore the techniques and strategies for developing believable characters that will captivate your readers. 2.3.1 Understanding character psychology. To create believable characters, it is essential to understand the psychology behind human behavior. Characters should have motivations, desires, fears, and flaws that drive their actions and decisions throughout the story. By delving into their psyche, you can create characters that feel authentic and resonate with readers. One effective way to understand character psychology is by conducting character interviews. Imagine yourself as the character and ask yourself questions about their background, experiences, and beliefs. Consider their upbringing, relationships, and past traumas that may have shaped their personality. By exploring their inner thoughts and emotions, you can gain a deeper understanding of their motivations and create more realistic characters. 2.3.2 Consistency and internal conflict. Believable characters are consistent in their behavior and actions. They should have a clear set of values and beliefs that guide their decisions throughout the story. However, it is also important to introduce internal conflicts within the character. These conflicts can arise from their desires, fears, or moral dilemmas, and they add depth and complexity to the character. Internal conflicts create tension and make the character more relatable to readers. They allow the character to grapple with difficult choices and showcase their growth and development throughout the story. By presenting characters with conflicting desires or beliefs, you can create compelling narratives that keep readers engaged. 2.3.3 Unique personalities and quirks. To make characters believable, it is important to give them unique personalities and quirks. Just like real people, characters should have distinct traits and behaviors that set them apart from others. These quirks can be physical, such as a nervous tic or a distinctive way of speaking, or they can be personality traits, like being overly organized or having a sarcastic sense of humor. These unique characteristics not only make the characters more memorable but also add depth and realism to their portrayal. They make the characters feel like individuals rather than stereotypes or archetypes. By giving characters their own quirks and personalities, you can create a diverse and engaging cast that will captivate your readers. 2.3.4 Backstory and character development. A character's backstory plays a significant role in shaping their personality and motivations. By developing a detailed backstory, you can create characters with depth and complexity. Consider their upbringing, family dynamics, and past experiences that have influenced their present-day behavior. However, it is important to remember that not all aspects of a character's backstory need to be explicitly revealed in the story. Some details can be left to the reader's imagination, allowing them to fill in the gaps and create their own interpretations. This can add an element of mystery and intrigue to the character, making them more compelling and relatable. Character development is another crucial aspect of building believable characters. Characters should undergo growth and change throughout the story, driven by their experiences and the challenges they face. This development can be gradual or transformative, but it should be consistent with the character's motivations and internal conflicts. 2.3.5 Relationships and interactions. Believable characters are not isolated entities, they exist within a network of relationships and interactions with other characters. These relationships can be positive, negative, or complex, and they play a significant role in shaping the character's development and motivations. When developing relationships between characters, consider the dynamics, history, and conflicts that exist between them. These interactions should feel authentic and contribute to the overall narrative. By exploring the complexities of human relationships, you can create compelling and believable characters that resonate with readers. 2.3.6 Diversity and representation. In today's diverse world, it is important to create characters that reflect the richness and variety of human experiences. Including characters from different backgrounds, cultures, and identities not only adds depth and realism to your story but also promotes inclusivity and representation. When portraying diverse characters, it is crucial to do so with sensitivity and respect. Avoid stereotypes and tokenism, and instead, focus on creating well-rounded characters with their own unique personalities, motivations, and story arcs. By embracing diversity in your storytelling, you can create a more inclusive and engaging narrative that resonates with a wider audience. Building believable characters is an art that requires a deep understanding of human psychology, consistent characterization, and attention to detail. By investing time and effort into developing your characters, you can create a cast that feels real and relatable to your readers. Remember, believable characters are the heart and soul of a compelling story, and they have the power to captivate and inspire your audience. 2.4 Character motivations and goals. In order to create compelling and believable characters, it is essential to understand their motivations and goals. Character motivations are the driving forces behind their actions and decisions, while goals are the specific objectives they strive to achieve. By delving into these aspects of your characters, you can bring depth and authenticity to their journeys within your story. 2.4.1 Understanding character motivations. Character motivations are the underlying reasons why a character behaves the way they do. These motivations can be influenced by a variety of factors, such as their past experiences, desires, fears, and values. Understanding a character's motivations allows you to create a more nuanced and realistic portrayal of their actions and choices. To develop a character's motivations, consider their backstory and personal history. What events or experiences have shaped them? What are their desires and fears? By exploring these aspects, you can uncover the driving forces behind their behavior. For example, a character who grew up in poverty may be motivated by a desire for financial security and stability. This motivation could lead them to make choices that prioritize financial gain, even if it means compromising their values. On the other hand, a character who has experienced loss may be motivated by a fear of abandonment, driving them to avoid forming deep connections with others. 2.4.2 Establishing character goals. Character goals are the specific objectives that a character strives to achieve throughout the course of the story. These goals provide direction and purpose for the character's actions and decisions, and they create a sense of anticipation and tension for the reader. When establishing character goals, it is important to consider both external and internal objectives. External goals are tangible and observable, such as winning a competition or finding a lost treasure. Internal goals, on the other hand, are more abstract and relate to the character's emotional or psychological growth, such as finding self-acceptance or overcoming a fear. To create compelling character goals, think about what your character wants and needs. What do they hope to achieve? What obstacles stand in their way? By giving your characters clear and meaningful goals, you can create a sense of purpose and drive within your story. For example, a character who dreams of becoming a professional athlete may have the external goal of winning a championship. However, their internal goal could be to prove their worth and overcome self-doubt. As they face challenges and setbacks, their goals will be tested, allowing for growth and development throughout the narrative. 2.4.3 Aligning motivations and goals. To create well-rounded and believable characters, it is important to align their motivations and goals. The character's motivations should drive their pursuit of their goals, and their goals should be influenced by their motivations. For example, if a character's motivation is to seek justice for a loved one who was wronged, their goal may be to bring the perpetrator to justice. Their actions and decisions throughout the story should reflect this motivation, as they work towards achieving their goal. By aligning motivations and goals, you can create a cohesive and authentic character arc. The character's journey becomes more meaningful and engaging as their motivations drive their actions, and their goals provide a sense of direction and purpose. 2.4.4 Evolving motivations and goals. As your story progresses, it is important to allow your characters' motivations and goals to evolve and change. Just as real people grow and adapt, so should your characters. This evolution adds depth and complexity to their journeys, keeping the reader engaged and invested in their development. Characters may experience shifts in their motivations and goals due to new experiences, revelations, or personal growth. These changes can create internal conflicts and dilemmas, adding layers of complexity to their character arcs. For example, a character who initially seeks revenge may come to realize the futility of their actions and shift their motivation towards forgiveness and redemption. This change in motivation can lead to a new goal of seeking reconciliation and healing. By allowing your character's motivations and goals to evolve, you create opportunities for growth and transformation within your story. This not only adds depth to your characters but also keeps the narrative dynamic and engaging for the reader. In conclusion, understanding and developing character motivations and goals is crucial for creating compelling and believable characters. By delving into their motivations, establishing clear goals, aligning the two, and allowing for evolution, you can bring depth and authenticity to your characters' journeys. This, in turn, will captivate your readers and make your story more engaging and memorable. 3. Crafting compelling plots. 3.1 Understanding story structure. Storytelling is an art form that has been around for centuries. It is a way for humans to communicate, entertain, and connect with one another. At its core, storytelling is the act of conveying a sequence of events or experiences through words, images, or other mediums. It is a powerful tool that allows us to share our thoughts, emotions, and ideas with others. In order to effectively tell a story, it is important to understand the structure that underlies it. Story structure refers to the organization and arrangement of the various elements that make up a narrative. It provides a framework for the story, helping to guide the reader or audience through the plot and create a sense of coherence and meaning. 3.1.1 The three-act structure. One of the most common and widely used story structures is the three-act structure. This structure divides a story into three main parts: the setup, the confrontation, and the resolution. Each act serves a specific purpose and contributes to the overall development of the story. Act 1. The setup. The first act of a story is dedicated to setting up the world, introducing the characters, and establishing the main conflict or problem. This is where the audience gets to know the protagonist and their goals, as well as the obstacles they will face throughout the story. The setup is crucial in capturing the reader's or audience's attention and creating a strong foundation for the rest of the narrative. Act 2. The confrontation. The second act is the longest and most complex part of the story. It is where the protagonist faces a series of challenges, encounters conflicts, and undergoes character development. This act is often filled with rising action, as the tension and stakes continue to increase. The confrontation is where the main conflict reaches its peak, and the protagonist is forced to confront their fears, make difficult choices, and overcome obstacles in order to achieve their goals. Act 3. The resolution. The third act is the culmination of the story. It is where the main conflict is resolved, and loose ends are tied up. The resolution provides closure and satisfaction to the reader or audience, as they witness the outcome of the protagonist's journey. This act often includes a climax, where the tension reaches its highest point, followed by a denouement, where the story winds down and the characters reflect on their experiences. 3.1.2 The Hero's Journey. Another popular story structure is the hero's journey, which was popularized by Joseph Campbell in his book, The Hero with a Thousand Faces. This structure follows the journey of a hero who embarks on an adventure, faces trials and tribulations, and ultimately undergoes a transformation. Departure. The hero's journey begins with the departure, where the hero is called to adventure and leaves their ordinary world behind. They may receive a call to action, encounter a mentor, or face a significant event that propels them into the unknown. Initiation. During the initiation phase, the hero faces a series of tests, meets allies and enemies, and undergoes a transformation. They may experience setbacks, learn valuable lessons, and acquire new skills or knowledge that will aid them in their ultimate quest. Return. The return marks the final phase of the hero's journey. The hero returns to their ordinary world, armed with newfound wisdom and strength. They may face a final challenge or confrontation before achieving their ultimate goal and bringing about a positive change in their world. 3.1.3 Other story structures. While the three-act structure and the hero's journey are widely used, there are many other story structures that authors can explore. Some stories may follow a linear structure, where events unfold in a chronological order. Others may employ a nonlinear structure, where the narrative jumps back and forth in time. Additionally, some stories may have multiple storylines or subplots that intersect and influence one another. These structures can add complexity and depth to the narrative, allowing for different perspectives and exploring various themes and ideas. 3.1.4 The importance of story structure. Understanding story structure is essential for writers because it provides a roadmap for crafting a compelling and engaging narrative. It helps to create a sense of coherence, pacing, and tension, ensuring that the story flows smoothly and keeps the reader or audience engaged. A well-structured story also allows for effective character development and plot progression. It helps to establish clear goals and motivations for the characters, as well as create a logical and satisfying resolution to the main conflict. Furthermore, story structure helps to create emotional impact and resonance. By following a well-defined structure, writers can effectively build tension, create suspense, and evoke powerful emotions in the reader or audience. In conclusion, understanding story structure is crucial for any storyteller. It provides a framework for organizing the various elements of a narrative and guides the reader or audience through the plot. Whether using the three-act structure, the hero's journey, or other narrative structures, a well-structured story has the power to captivate, entertain, and leave a lasting impact on its audience. 3.2 Creating conflict and tension. Conflict and tension are essential elements of a compelling story. They keep readers engaged, create suspense, and drive the plot forward. Without conflict and tension, a story can feel flat and uninteresting. In this section, we will explore various techniques for creating conflict and tension in your narrative. 3.2.1 Understanding conflict. Conflict is the driving force behind any story. It is the struggle between opposing forces that creates tension and propels the plot forward. There are several types of conflict that you can incorporate into your story. Internal conflict. This type of conflict occurs within a character's mind. It is a battle between their desires, beliefs, or emotions. Internal conflict adds depth to a character and allows readers to connect with their struggles on a personal level. External conflict. External conflict involves a character's struggle against an outside force, such as another character, nature, society, or a supernatural entity. This type of conflict creates tension and keeps readers engaged as they anticipate the outcome. Interpersonal conflict. Interpersonal conflict arises between two or more characters. It can be a clash of personalities, conflicting goals, or opposing beliefs. Interpersonal conflict adds drama and complexity to your story, as characters navigate their relationships and resolve their differences. Conflict of values. This type of conflict occurs when characters have differing moral or ethical beliefs. It forces characters to question their values and make difficult choices. Conflict of values can create tension and raise thought-provoking questions for readers. 3.2.2 Creating tension. Tension is the feeling of anticipation or unease that keeps readers engaged and invested in the story. It is the result of unresolved conflict and the potential for something significant to happen. Here are some techniques to create tension in your narrative. Foreshadowing. Foreshadowing is a literary technique that hints at future events or outcomes. By subtly alluding to what is to come, you can create a sense of anticipation and build tension. Foreshadowing can be done through dialogue, imagery, or symbolic references. Pacing. The pace at which events unfold in your story can greatly impact the level of tension. By alternating between fast-paced action scenes and slower, reflective moments, you can create a roller coaster of emotions for readers. Quick pacing during intense moments heightens tension, while slower pacing allows for reflection and build-up. Time pressure. Introducing a sense of urgency or a deadline can increase tension in your story. When characters are racing against the clock, readers feel the pressure and become more invested in the outcome. Time pressure can be used to escalate conflict and create a sense of impending danger. Unpredictability. Surprise your readers by introducing unexpected twists and turns in the plot. Unpredictability keeps readers on their toes and heightens tension as they try to anticipate what will happen next. However, ensure that the surprises are logical and consistent with the story's internal logic. Conflicting goals. When characters have conflicting goals or desires, it creates tension and drives the plot forward. As characters pursue their objectives, they may clash with others who have opposing interests. This conflict of goals adds depth to the story and keeps readers engaged. Emotional conflict. Emotional conflict occurs when characters experience conflicting emotions or desires. It can be a struggle between love and duty, fear and desire, or loyalty and self-interest. Emotional conflict adds complexity to characters and creates internal tension that resonates with readers. 3.2.3 Balancing conflict and tension. While conflict and tension are crucial for a compelling story, it is essential to strike a balance. Too much conflict or tension can overwhelm readers, while too little can make the story feel dull. Here are some tips for finding the right balance. Gradual build-up. Start with smaller conflicts and gradually escalate the tension as the story progresses. This allows readers to become emotionally invested in the characters and their struggles before introducing major conflicts. Vary intensity. Mix moments of high tension with moments of relief or reflection. This variation in intensity keeps readers engaged and prevents tension from becoming monotonous. Character development. Conflict and tension should serve the purpose of character development. Use them to reveal more about your characters, their motivations, and their growth throughout the story. This adds depth and emotional resonance to the conflicts. Resolution. Ensure that conflicts are resolved in a satisfying and meaningful way. Readers need closure and resolution to feel satisfied with the story. However, leaving some conflicts unresolved can also create intrigue and anticipation for future installments or sequels. By incorporating conflict and tension into your narrative, you can create a captivating story that keeps readers hooked from beginning to end. Experiment with different types of conflict, build tension through foreshadowing and pacing, and find the right balance to engage your readers and leave a lasting impact. 3.3 Plot Development Techniques. Plot development is a crucial aspect of storytelling that keeps readers engaged and invested in the narrative. A well-crafted plot takes readers on a journey, filled with twists, turns, and surprises that keep them eagerly turning the pages. In this section, we will explore various plot development techniques that can help you create a compelling and captivating story. 3.3.1 Outlining the plot. Before diving into the details of your story, it is essential to have a clear outline of the plot. An outline serves as a roadmap, guiding you through the various events and conflicts that will unfold in your story. It helps you maintain a logical progression and ensures that all the elements of your plot are interconnected. When outlining your plot, consider the following. Beginning. Start by introducing your main characters and setting the stage for the story. Establish the central conflict or problem that your protagonist will face. Rising action. Build tension and suspense by introducing obstacles and challenges that your protagonist must overcome. Each obstacle should bring them closer to the climax of the story. Climax. The climax is the turning point of your story, where the conflict reaches its peak. It is the most intense and pivotal moment that determines the outcome of the story. Falling action. After the climax, the story begins to wind down. The falling action shows the consequences of the climax and sets the stage for the resolution. Resolution. The resolution brings closure to the story. It ties up loose ends, resolves conflicts, and provides a satisfying conclusion for the reader. By outlining your plot, you can ensure that your story has a clear structure and a well-paced narrative. 3.3.2 Creating conflict and tension. Conflict is the driving force behind any compelling plot. It creates tension and keeps readers engaged, as they eagerly anticipate how the characters will overcome the challenges they face. Here are some techniques to create conflict and tension in your story. Internal conflict. Explore the inner struggles and dilemmas faced by your characters. This can be a battle between their desires and responsibilities, their fears and aspirations, or their past and present selves. External conflict. Introduce external obstacles and challenges that your characters must overcome. This can include conflicts with other characters, nature, society, or even supernatural forces. Time pressure. Imposing time constraints on your characters adds urgency and heightens tension. It forces them to make difficult decisions and take risks, as they race against the clock. Unpredictability. Surprise your readers by introducing unexpected twists and turns in the plot. This keeps them on their toes and prevents the story from becoming predictable. Moral dilemmas. Present your characters with difficult choices that test their values and beliefs. This creates internal conflict and adds depth to their development. By incorporating conflict and tension into your plot, you can create a sense of excitement and anticipation that will captivate your readers. 3.3.3 Foreshadowing and Chekhov's gun. Foreshadowing is a technique used to hint at future events or outcomes in the story. It adds depth and complexity to the plot, as readers try to piece together the clues and anticipate what will happen next. Foreshadowing can be subtle or overt, depending on the effect you want to create. Chekhov's gun is a principle that states that every element in a story should serve a purpose. If you introduce a gun in the first act, it should be fired by the third act. In other words, every detail you include in your story should have relevance and contribute to the overall plot. By effectively using foreshadowing and Chekhov's gun, you can create a sense of cohesion and satisfaction for your readers. 3.3.4 Flashbacks and flash forwards. Flashbacks and flash forwards are narrative techniques that allow you to deviate from the linear timeline of your story. They provide insights into the past or future events, adding depth and complexity to the plot. Here are some tips for using flashbacks and flash forwards effectively. Relevance. Ensure that the flashback or flash forward is relevant to the main plot. It should provide valuable information or insights that enhance the reader's understanding of the story. Timing. Choose the right moment to insert a flashback or flash forward. It should be strategically placed to create suspense or reveal crucial information at the right time. Transition. Use clear and seamless transitions to indicate the shift between the present and the past or future. This helps readers follow the narrative without confusion. Character development. Flashbacks and flash forwards can be used to explore a character's backstory or future aspirations, deepening their development and motivations. By incorporating flashbacks and flash forwards into your plot, you can add layers of complexity and intrigue to your story. 3.3.5 Parallel storylines. Parallel storylines involve multiple plotlines that run concurrently and intersect at various points in the narrative. This technique allows you to explore different perspectives, themes, and conflicts within the same story. Here are some considerations when using parallel storylines. Interconnectedness. Ensure that the parallel storylines are interconnected and contribute to the overall plot. Each storyline should have relevance and impact on the others. Distinct characters. Develop unique and compelling characters for each storyline. This helps readers differentiate between the different plotlines and keeps them engaged. Timing. Strategically time the intersections between the parallel storylines to create suspense and anticipation. This can be done through cliffhangers or unexpected revelations. Theme exploration. Use parallel storylines to explore different themes or perspectives within your story. This adds depth and complexity to the narrative. By incorporating parallel storylines, you can create a rich and multi-dimensional narrative that keeps readers intrigued and invested in your story. In conclusion, plot development is a crucial aspect of storytelling that requires careful planning and execution. By outlining your plot, creating conflict and tension, using foreshadowing and Chekhov's gun, incorporating flashbacks and flash forwards, and exploring parallel storylines, you can create a compelling and captivating plot that will keep readers hooked from beginning to end. 3.4 Plot twists and surprises. Plot twists and surprises are powerful tools that can captivate readers and keep them engaged in your story. When used effectively, they can add excitement, suspense, and unpredictability to your narrative. In this section, we will explore the art of crafting plot twists and surprises that will leave your readers on the edge of their seats. 3.4.1 The purpose of plot twists. Plot twists serve several purposes in storytelling. They can create suspense. A well-executed plot twist can create a sense of anticipation and keep readers guessing about what will happen next. It adds an element of surprise that can heighten the tension and make the story more exciting. Challenge expectations. Plot twists can challenge readers' assumptions and expectations, forcing them to reevaluate what they thought they knew about the story. This can lead to a deeper engagement with the narrative and a greater sense of satisfaction when the twist is revealed. Add complexity. Plot twists can add layers of complexity to your story, introducing new conflicts, motivations, or revelations that deepen the overall narrative. They can provide a fresh perspective and keep the story from becoming predictable or formulaic. 3.4.2 Building suspense and foreshadowing. To create effective plot twists, it is important to build suspense and foreshadow the possibility of unexpected events. Foreshadowing is the art of subtly hinting at future developments in the story without giving away the twist itself. This can be done through subtle clues, ambiguous dialogue, or symbolic imagery. By planting seeds of doubt or curiosity in the minds of your readers, you can create an atmosphere of anticipation that will make the eventual plot twist even more impactful. Foreshadowing can be done through small details, seemingly insignificant events, or even through the behavior and actions of your characters. However, it is crucial to strike a balance between foreshadowing and keeping the twist a surprise. If the twist is too predictable, it may lose its impact. On the other hand, if it comes out of nowhere without any foreshadowing, it may feel forced or contrived. Finding the right balance is key to creating a satisfying plot twist. 3.4.3 Types of plot twists. There are various types of plot twists that you can employ in your storytelling. Here are a few examples. Reversal. A reversal plot twist involves a sudden change in the direction of the story. It can turn a character's motivations or alliances upside down, revealing hidden agendas or unexpected alliances. Revelation. A revelation plot twist involves the unveiling of a secret or a piece of information that changes the reader's understanding of the story. It can shed new light on a character's past, motivations, or relationships. Red herring. A red herring plot twist involves misleading the reader by introducing a false clue or a misleading piece of information. This can create suspense and keep the reader guessing until the true twist is revealed. Irony. An ironic plot twist involves a situation where the outcome is the opposite of what was expected. It can add a layer of complexity and depth to the story, forcing the reader to reevaluate their assumptions. Double twist. A double twist involves the introduction of two plot twists, one after the other. This can create a rollercoaster of emotions and keep the reader engaged until the very end. 3.4.4 Executing plot twists effectively. To execute plot twists effectively, consider the following tips. Plan ahead. Before introducing a plot twist, it is important to have a clear understanding of your story's overall structure and direction. Plan the twist in advance and ensure that it aligns with the themes, characters, and conflicts of your narrative. Maintain consistency. While plot twists can be surprising, they should still be consistent with the rules and logic of your story world. Avoid introducing twists that feel forced or out of place. The twist should make sense in the context of the story and the characters involved. Use misdirection. Misdirection is a technique that can be used to divert the reader's attention away from the true twist. By introducing secondary conflicts or red herrings, you can keep the reader guessing and make the eventual twist more surprising. Reveal at the right moment. Timing is crucial when it comes to plot twists. Revealing the twist too early can deflate the tension, while revealing it too late can leave the reader feeling unsatisfied. Find the right balance and consider the pacing of your story when deciding when to unveil the twist. Provide a payoff. A plot twist should have a meaningful impact on the story and the characters involved. It should change the course of events and create new conflicts or resolutions. Ensure that the twist has a purpose and provides a payoff for the reader's investment in the story. By mastering the art of crafting plot twists and surprises, you can elevate your storytelling to new heights. Remember to plan ahead, build suspense, and execute the twist effectively to create a memorable and engaging narrative that will leave your readers wanting more. 3.5 Subplots and parallel storylines. In the world of storytelling, subplots and parallel storylines are powerful tools that can add depth, complexity, and intrigue to your narrative. While the main plotline drives the central conflict and focuses on the primary characters, subplots and parallel storylines provide additional layers of storytelling that can enhance the overall reading experience. 3.5.1 The purpose of subplots. Subplots serve several important purposes in storytelling. They can provide a break from the main plotline, offering readers a chance to explore different aspects of the story and its characters. Subplots can also introduce new conflicts, challenges, and themes that complement or contrast with the main plot, adding richness and complexity to the narrative. One of the key benefits of incorporating subplots is the opportunity to develop secondary characters. While the main plot may primarily focus on the protagonist and their journey, subplots allow for the exploration of other characters' lives, motivations, and growth. This can create a more well-rounded and realistic story world, as readers gain insight into the lives and experiences of a diverse range of characters. Subplots can also serve as a means of foreshadowing or building suspense. By introducing smaller storylines that are connected to the main plot, you can hint at future events or create a sense of anticipation. This can keep readers engaged and eager to uncover how the various storylines will intersect and impact each other. 3.5.2 Creating effective subplots. When crafting subplots, it is important to ensure that they are seamlessly integrated into the main narrative. Here are some tips to help you create effective subplots. Relevance. Subplots should be relevant to the main plotline and contribute to the overall story arc. They should not feel like unnecessary distractions or tangents. Each subplot should serve a purpose and add value to the narrative. Character connection. Subplots can be used to deepen the characterization of secondary characters. Ensure that the subplots are connected to the characters' motivations, goals, or personal journeys. This will make the subplots feel organic and integral to the story. Timing and pacing. Introduce subplots at appropriate moments in the story to maintain a balanced pace. Avoid overwhelming readers with too many subplots at once or introducing them too late in the narrative. Consider the overall flow of the story and strategically place subplots to enhance the reading experience. Interweaving. Look for opportunities to interweave the main plotline and subplots. This can be done through shared themes, conflicts, or character interactions. By creating connections between the different storylines, you can create a cohesive and interconnected narrative. Resolution. Ensure that subplots are resolved in a satisfying manner. While they may not receive the same level of resolution as the main plotline, subplots should have a clear conclusion that ties up loose ends and provides a sense of closure. This will prevent readers from feeling unsatisfied or confused by unresolved storylines. 3.5.3 Parallel storylines. Parallel storylines involve multiple plotlines that run concurrently throughout the narrative. These storylines may be interconnected or independent, but they often share thematic or narrative similarities. Parallel storylines can provide a broader perspective on the central conflict and allow readers to experience the story from different viewpoints. Parallel storylines can be used to explore different aspects of the main conflict, introduce contrasting perspectives, or highlight the consequences of characters' actions. They can also create tension and suspense as readers anticipate how the various storylines will intersect and impact each other. When incorporating parallel storylines, it is important to maintain clarity and coherence. Clearly establish each storyline and its relevance to the overall narrative. Consider using distinct narrative voices, settings, or visual cues to differentiate between the different storylines. This will help readers navigate the multiple plotlines and prevent confusion. Parallel storylines can be particularly effective in genres such as mystery, thriller, or epic fantasy, where multiple characters and storylines are often intertwined. They can create a sense of depth and complexity, immersing readers in a rich and expansive story world. 3.5.4 Balancing subplots and parallel storylines. While subplots and parallel storylines can greatly enhance your narrative, it is important to strike a balance. Too many subplots or parallel storylines can overwhelm readers and detract from the main plotline. Conversely, too few or underdeveloped subplots may leave the story feeling flat or one-dimensional. Consider the overall structure and length of your story when incorporating subplots and parallel storylines. Ensure that each subplot or storyline receives adequate attention and development without overshadowing the main plot. Regularly assess the pacing and impact of the subplots and parallel storylines to maintain a cohesive and engaging narrative. By skillfully integrating subplots and parallel storylines into your storytelling, you can create a multi-layered and immersive reading experience. These narrative techniques allow you to explore different perspectives, deepen characterization, and add complexity to your story. Embrace the art of subplots and parallel storylines, and watch your narrative come alive with depth and intrigue. 3.6 Resolving the plot. Resolving the plot is a crucial aspect of storytelling. It is the point in the narrative where all the loose ends are tied up, conflicts are resolved, and the story reaches its conclusion. The resolution of the plot is what gives the story a sense of closure and satisfaction for the reader. 3.6.1 The importance of a satisfying resolution. A satisfying resolution is essential for a well-crafted story. It provides a sense of fulfillment for the reader and allows them to reflect on the journey they have taken with the characters. A poorly resolved plot can leave readers feeling unsatisfied and can undermine the impact of the story as a whole. The resolution should not only tie up loose ends but also provide a deeper understanding of the story's themes and messages. It is an opportunity for the author to leave a lasting impression on the reader and make them reflect on the story long after they have finished reading it. 3.6.2 Bringing closure to the main conflict. The resolution of the plot should address the main conflict that has been driving the story. It is the culmination of the tension and suspense that has been building throughout the narrative. The resolution should provide a clear and satisfying resolution to the conflict, whether it is a victory for the protagonist or a realization that leads to personal growth. To create a compelling resolution, it is important to consider the stakes of the conflict and the impact it has on the characters. The resolution should feel earned and not come out of nowhere. It should be a natural progression of the story and the choices and actions of the characters. 3.6.3 Closure and satisfaction for the reader. In addition to resolving the main conflict, the resolution should also provide closure and satisfaction for the reader. This can be achieved by tying up any loose ends or unanswered questions that have been raised throughout the story. It is important to address any subplots or secondary conflicts that have been introduced and provide a resolution for them as well. However, it is also important to strike a balance between providing closure and leaving room for interpretation. A completely tied-up ending may feel too neat and predictable, while an ambiguous ending may leave the reader feeling frustrated. The resolution should provide enough closure to satisfy the reader's curiosity while still allowing them to engage with the story on a deeper level. 3.6.4 The final sentence and lasting impact. The final sentence of a story holds significant weight in the resolution of the plot. It is the last impression the reader will have of the story and can leave a lasting impact. The final sentence should encapsulate the essence of the story, leaving the reader with a sense of reflection and contemplation. A well-crafted final sentence can evoke emotions, provide a sense of closure, or leave the reader with a lingering question. It should resonate with the themes and messages of the story, leaving the reader with a deeper understanding of the narrative. 3.6.5 Avoiding Deus Ex Machina. When resolving the plot, it is important to avoid the use of Deus Ex Machina, a literary device where a seemingly unsolvable problem is suddenly and abruptly resolved by an unexpected intervention. This can feel contrived and undermine the credibility of the story. Instead, the resolution should be built upon the foundations established throughout the narrative. It should be a result of the choices and actions of the characters and should feel organic to the story. This will ensure that the resolution is satisfying and believable for the reader. 3.6.6 Balancing resolution and open-endedness. While it is important to provide a satisfying resolution, it is also valuable to leave room for interpretation and open-endedness. This allows the reader to engage with the story beyond its conclusion and encourages them to reflect on the themes and messages presented. An open-ended resolution can spark discussion and debate among readers, allowing them to draw their own conclusions and interpretations. It can also leave a sense of curiosity and intrigue, leaving the reader wanting more. However, it is important to strike a balance between resolution and open-endedness. The resolution should provide enough closure to satisfy the reader's curiosity and provide a sense of fulfillment. Leaving too many loose ends or unanswered questions can leave the reader feeling frustrated and unsatisfied. 3.6.7 Conclusion. Resolving the plot is a crucial aspect of storytelling. It provides closure and satisfaction for the reader while also leaving room for interpretation and reflection. A well-crafted resolution ties up loose ends, addresses the main conflict, and leaves a lasting impact on the reader. By carefully considering the resolution of the plot, authors can create a memorable and impactful story that resonates with readers long after they have finished reading. 4. Setting the stage. 4.1 Creating engaging settings. One of the key elements in creating a compelling narrative is the setting. The setting of a story encompasses the time, place, and atmosphere in which the events unfold. It serves as the backdrop against which the characters and plot come to life. A well-crafted setting can transport readers to a different world, evoke emotions, and enhance the overall reading experience. In this section, we will explore the art of creating engaging settings and how they can enrich your storytelling. 4.1.1 Setting as a foundation. Before delving into the details of creating an engaging setting, it is important to understand the role it plays in your story. The setting serves as the foundation upon which your narrative is built. It provides context, establishes the atmosphere, and influences the actions and motivations of your characters. Whether it is a bustling city, a remote island, or a fantastical realm, the setting sets the stage for your story to unfold. 4.1.2 Research and imagination. Creating an engaging setting requires a combination of research and imagination. If your story is set in a real-world location, it is important to conduct thorough research to ensure accuracy and authenticity. This includes studying maps, reading about the history and culture of the place, and even visiting the location if possible. By immersing yourself in the details of the setting, you can bring it to life in a vivid and realistic manner. For stories set in fictional or fantastical worlds, your imagination becomes the key tool. Think about the geography, climate, and architecture of your world. Consider the customs, traditions, and social structures that shape the lives of the inhabitants. The more thought and detail you put into creating your setting, the more immersive and believable it will be for your readers. 4.1.3 Evoking the senses. An engaging setting should not only be visually descriptive but should also evoke the senses of your readers. By appealing to the senses of sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch, you can create a multi-dimensional experience for your audience. Describe the vibrant colors of a bustling marketplace, the cacophony of sounds in a crowded street, the aroma of freshly baked bread wafting through the air, the taste of salty sea breeze on the lips, and the texture of rough cobblestones underfoot. By incorporating sensory details, you can transport your readers into the world of your story and make it come alive. 4.1.4 Using setting to enhance the story. An engaging setting should not only serve as a backdrop but should also play an active role in enhancing the story. The setting can influence the mood and tone of your narrative, create opportunities for conflict and tension, and even act as a character in its own right. For example, a dark and eerie forest can heighten the sense of danger and mystery in a suspenseful thriller, while a sun-drenched beach can evoke feelings of relaxation and joy in a light-hearted romance. Consider how the setting can interact with your characters and plot. How does the environment shape their behavior and choices? How does it present obstacles or opportunities for them? By integrating the setting into the fabric of your story, you can create a more immersive and dynamic reading experience. 4.1.5 Balancing detail and imagination. When describing your setting, it is important to strike a balance between providing enough detail to paint a vivid picture and leaving room for the reader's imagination. While it is important to provide enough information to ground your readers in the world of your story, overwhelming them with excessive details can bog down the narrative and hinder the flow of the story. Choose your descriptive details carefully, focusing on the aspects that are most relevant to the plot and the emotions you want to evoke. Use vivid and evocative language to bring the setting to life, but also leave room for the reader's imagination to fill in the gaps. By striking this balance, you can create an engaging setting that captivates your readers without overwhelming them. 4.1.6 Creating a sense of place. An engaging setting should have a strong sense of place, making it feel like a real and tangible location. To achieve this, consider the small details that make a place unique. Think about the architecture, the local customs, the dialects, and the landmarks that define the setting. By incorporating these details, you can create a setting that feels authentic and fully realized. Additionally, consider the history and backstory of your setting. How did it come to be? What events have shaped its past? By understanding the history of your setting, you can add depth and richness to your narrative, making it feel like a living, breathing world. 4.1.7 The dynamic setting. Lastly, remember that a setting is not static but can evolve and change throughout the course of your story. Just as characters grow and change, so too can the setting. Use the setting to reflect the emotional journey of your characters or to mirror the themes and conflicts of your narrative. By allowing the setting to evolve, you can create a more dynamic and engaging reading experience. In conclusion, creating an engaging setting is a vital aspect of storytelling. By conducting research, using your imagination, evoking the senses, and balancing detail and imagination, you can craft a setting that captivates your readers and enhances your narrative. Remember to make the setting an active participant in your story, and allow it to evolve and change alongside your characters. With a well-crafted setting, you can transport your readers to new worlds and create a truly immersive reading experience. 4.2 Building a rich and detailed world. In the world of storytelling, the setting plays a crucial role in immersing readers into the narrative. It is the backdrop against which the characters and plot unfold, and it sets the stage for the entire story. Building a rich and detailed world is essential for creating a compelling and believable story that captivates readers from beginning to end. 4.2.1 The importance of world building. World building is the process of constructing a fictional world within which your story takes place. It involves creating the physical environment, cultural norms, history, and rules that govern the world. While world building is often associated with fantasy and science fiction genres, it is equally important in any genre of storytelling. A well-developed world adds depth and authenticity to your story. It allows readers to suspend their disbelief and become fully immersed in the narrative. By providing intricate details about the world, you create a sense of realism that enhances the overall reading experience. 4.2.2 Creating a consistent and coherent world. When building your fictional world, it is crucial to ensure consistency and coherence. Every aspect of the world should align with the rules and logic you establish. Whether it is the geography, technology, or social structure, all elements should work together harmoniously. To achieve consistency, consider the cause and effect relationships within your world. How do the different aspects of the world influence and shape each other? For example, if you have a world with advanced technology, how does it impact the social dynamics and daily lives of the characters? Coherence, on the other hand, refers to the internal logic of your world. The rules and limitations you establish should be followed consistently throughout the story. This helps readers understand and navigate the world without confusion or inconsistencies. 4.2.3 Research and inspiration. Building a rich and detailed world often requires research and drawing inspiration from various sources. Look into different cultures, historical periods, and geographical locations to gather ideas for your world. By incorporating elements from the real world, you can add depth and authenticity to your fictional setting. Additionally, consider exploring different art forms such as visual arts, music, and literature. These can provide inspiration for creating unique and captivating aspects of your world. For example, a painting may inspire the description of a breathtaking landscape, or a piece of music may evoke the atmosphere of a particular scene. 4.2.4 Developing the physical environment. The physical environment of your world is one of the fundamental aspects of world building. It includes the geography, climate, flora, and fauna that exist within your fictional setting. When developing the physical environment, consider how it influences the characters and the story. Describe the landscapes in vivid detail, using sensory language to bring them to life. Consider the impact of the environment on the characters' daily lives, their survival, and their interactions. For example, a harsh desert climate may shape the culture and lifestyle of the inhabitants, while a dense forest may provide a sense of mystery and danger. 4.2.5 Cultures, societies, and history. The cultures, societies, and history of your world are essential components of world building. They shape the beliefs, values, and behaviors of the characters and provide a rich tapestry for the narrative. Consider the social structures, customs, traditions, and languages that exist within your world. Developing the history of your world adds depth and context to the story. Consider the events that have shaped the world and the impact they have had on the present. This can create a sense of realism and provide opportunities for conflict and tension within the narrative. 4.2.6 Using setting to enhance the story. The setting of your story can be more than just a backdrop, it can be a character in itself. By using the setting effectively, you can enhance the story and create a deeper emotional impact on the readers. Consider how the setting can reflect the mood and tone of the story. A gloomy and desolate setting can evoke feelings of sadness or despair, while a vibrant and bustling city can create a sense of excitement or energy. Use descriptive language to paint a vivid picture of the setting and its impact on the characters and the plot. Additionally, the setting can also serve as a source of conflict or provide opportunities for character development. For example, a character may face challenges and obstacles in a treacherous mountain range, or they may find solace and inspiration in a peaceful garden. 4.2.7 Balancing detail and imagination. When building a rich and detailed world, it is important to strike a balance between providing enough detail to engage readers and leaving room for their imagination. While it is essential to describe the world in sufficient detail, avoid overwhelming readers with excessive information. Allow readers to fill in the gaps with their own imagination, creating a more personal and immersive reading experience. Provide enough information to guide their understanding of the world, but also leave room for them to explore and discover on their own. 4.2.8 Evolving and expanding the world. As your story progresses, the world you have built may evolve and expand. Characters may travel to new locations, encounter different cultures, or uncover hidden aspects of the world. Embrace these opportunities to further develop and enrich your world. Continuously revisit and refine your world building as the story unfolds. Pay attention to the details and ensure they remain consistent with the established rules and logic. By evolving and expanding the world, you keep the story fresh and engaging for both yourself as the author and your readers. Building a rich and detailed world is a labor of love that requires careful thought and attention to detail. By creating a consistent and coherent world, drawing inspiration from various sources, and using the setting effectively, you can transport readers to a captivating and immersive fictional realm. Embrace the power of world building and watch as your story comes to life. 4.3 Using setting to enhance the story. The setting of a story plays a crucial role in enhancing the overall narrative. It provides the backdrop against which the characters and events unfold, setting the tone, atmosphere, and mood of the story. By carefully crafting and utilizing the setting, authors can create a more immersive and engaging reading experience for their audience. In this section, we will explore the various ways in which setting can be used to enhance the story. 4.3.1 Establishing time and place. One of the primary functions of the setting is to establish the time and place in which the story takes place. By providing specific details about the location and time period, authors can transport readers to a different world and immerse them in the story. Whether it's a bustling city in the present day or a remote village in the past, the setting helps ground the story in a specific context, making it more relatable and believable. To effectively establish the time and place, authors should pay attention to descriptive details such as architecture, landscape, climate, and cultural elements. By painting a vivid picture of the surroundings, readers can easily visualize the setting and feel a deeper connection to the story. 4.3.2 Setting as a reflection of character. The setting can also serve as a reflection of the characters in the story. Just as people are shaped by their environment, the setting can influence and shape the characters' personalities, values, and behaviors. For example, a character living in a bustling metropolis may be more ambitious and career-driven, while a character in a small, close-knit community may value tradition and family. By aligning the setting with the characters' traits and motivations, authors can create a more cohesive and believable narrative. The setting can act as a mirror, highlighting the characters' strengths, weaknesses, and internal conflicts. It can also provide opportunities for character growth and development as they navigate and interact with their surroundings. 4.3.3 Using setting to create conflict and tension. The setting can be a powerful tool for creating conflict and tension in a story. By placing characters in challenging or hostile environments, authors can intensify the stakes and raise the emotional tension. For example, a survival story set in a harsh and unforgiving wilderness automatically creates a sense of danger and urgency. Additionally, the setting can also serve as an obstacle for the characters to overcome. It can present physical barriers, such as treacherous terrain or extreme weather conditions, or societal barriers, such as strict social norms or oppressive governments. These obstacles can add depth and complexity to the plot, forcing the characters to confront their fears and limitations. 4.3.4 Symbolism and atmosphere. The setting can be infused with symbolism to enhance the thematic elements of the story. By using specific locations, objects, or natural elements, authors can convey deeper meanings and evoke emotions in the readers. For example, a dilapidated house can symbolize decay and loss, while a serene beach can represent peace and tranquility. Furthermore, the setting can contribute to the overall atmosphere and mood of the story. A dark and gloomy setting can create a sense of foreboding and suspense, while a vibrant and colorful setting can evoke feelings of joy and excitement. By carefully selecting and describing the setting, authors can manipulate the reader's emotions and enhance the overall reading experience. 4.3.5 Setting as a catalyst for plot development. The setting can also act as a catalyst for plot development. It can provide opportunities for conflict, create obstacles for the characters, and drive the narrative forward. For example, a historical event or a natural disaster can disrupt the characters' lives and set them on a new path. The setting can also present opportunities for unexpected encounters, chance meetings, or serendipitous events that propel the story in unexpected directions. By utilizing the setting as a dynamic and active element in the story, authors can keep the readers engaged and invested in the narrative. The setting can shape the events and actions of the characters, leading to surprising twists and turns that keep the story fresh and exciting. 4.3.6 Creating a sense of believability. Lastly, the setting plays a crucial role in creating a sense of believability in the story. A well-developed and realistic setting can make the readers feel like they are experiencing the story firsthand. By providing accurate and detailed descriptions, authors can transport readers to different worlds and make them feel fully immersed in the narrative. To create a believable setting, authors should conduct thorough research and pay attention to historical, geographical, and cultural details. By grounding the story in reality, even in fictional or fantastical settings, authors can make the story more relatable and resonate with the readers on a deeper level. In conclusion, the setting of a story is a powerful tool that can enhance the overall narrative. By establishing the time and place, reflecting the characters' traits, creating conflict and tension, using symbolism and atmosphere, driving the plot, and creating a sense of believability, authors can create a more immersive and engaging reading experience for their audience. The setting is not merely a backdrop but an active and dynamic element that shapes the story and influences the character's journey. 4.4 Setting as a character. In the world of storytelling, the setting is often seen as a backdrop for the characters and events that unfold. However, the setting can be much more than just a static location. When used effectively, the setting can become a dynamic and integral part of the story, almost like a character in its own right. It can shape the mood, influence the actions of the characters, and even drive the plot forward. In this section, we will explore the concept of setting as a character and how it can enhance your narrative. 4.4.1 Creating a vivid and evocative setting. To use the setting as a character, it is important to create a vivid and evocative world that readers can immerse themselves in. Just like with any other character, the setting should have its own unique traits, personality, and history. Whether it's a bustling city, a remote island, or a fantastical realm, the setting should be described in such detail that it comes alive in the reader's mind. One way to achieve this is through sensory details. Describe the sights, sounds, smells, tastes, and textures of the setting to engage the reader's senses. For example, instead of simply stating that the scene takes place in a forest, you can describe the dappled sunlight filtering through the leaves, the earthy scent of moss and damp soil, and the gentle rustling of leaves in the breeze. By painting a vivid picture, you can transport the reader into the world of your story. 4.4.2 Influencing mood and atmosphere. Just like a character's emotions can affect the mood of a scene, the setting can also have a profound impact on the overall atmosphere of your story. The choice of setting can evoke different emotions and set the tone for the narrative. For instance, a dark and gloomy castle can create a sense of foreboding and mystery, while a sunny beach can evoke feelings of relaxation and joy. Consider how the setting can reflect the emotional state of your characters or enhance the desired mood of a particular scene. If your protagonist is feeling lost and isolated, placing them in a desolate and barren landscape can amplify those emotions. On the other hand, if you want to create a sense of hope and renewal, a lush and vibrant garden can symbolize new beginnings. 4.4.3 Driving the plot forward. In addition to influencing the mood and atmosphere, the setting can also play a crucial role in driving the plot forward. It can present obstacles and challenges for the characters to overcome or provide opportunities for growth and transformation. For example, a treacherous mountain range can serve as a physical barrier that the protagonist must conquer to reach their goal, while a bustling marketplace can offer a chance encounter that propels the story in a new direction. By making the setting an active participant in the narrative, you can create a more dynamic and engaging story. Consider how the unique features of the setting can impact the actions and decisions of your characters. Is there a hidden treasure buried deep within a labyrinthine cave system? Does a haunted house hold the key to solving a mystery? By integrating the setting into the plot, you can add depth and complexity to your story. 4.4.4 Symbolism and metaphor. Just like characters and plot elements can be imbued with symbolism, the setting can also serve as a powerful metaphor. It can represent larger themes and ideas, adding layers of meaning to your narrative. For example, a barren wasteland can symbolize the emptiness and despair felt by a character, while a lush garden can represent growth and renewal. Think about how the setting can reflect the themes and messages you want to convey in your story. Is there a stark contrast between the natural beauty of the setting and the darkness that lies within the characters? Does the decaying urban landscape mirror the moral decay of society? By using the setting as a metaphor, you can deepen the impact of your story and invite readers to explore deeper philosophical questions. 4.4.5 Developing dynamic relationships. Just as characters interact with each other, they can also interact with the setting. By developing dynamic relationships between the characters and the environment, you can create a more immersive and realistic world. The setting can influence the characters' behavior, shape their beliefs, and even become a source of conflict. Consider how the characters' interactions with the setting can reveal their personalities and motivations. Does a character feel at home in a bustling city, or do they long for the tranquility of the countryside? Does a character find solace in the vastness of the ocean, or do they fear its power? By exploring these relationships, you can add depth and complexity to your characters and make the setting feel like an integral part of their lives. 4.4.6 Conclusion. The setting is not just a backdrop for your story, it can be a character in its own right. By creating a vivid and evocative world, influencing the mood and atmosphere, driving the plot forward, using symbolism and metaphor, and developing dynamic relationships, you can harness the power of the setting to enhance your narrative. So, as you embark on your storytelling journey, remember to give the setting the attention it deserves and let it come alive on the pages of your book. 5. Crafting dialogue. 5.1 Writing authentic dialogue. Dialogue is a powerful tool in storytelling that allows readers to connect with characters and immerse themselves in the narrative. It brings characters to life, reveals their personalities, and advances the plot. Writing authentic dialogue is essential for creating believable and engaging stories. In this section, we will explore the techniques and principles behind crafting effective dialogue. 5.1.1 Understanding the purpose of dialogue. Dialogue serves multiple purposes in a story. It can provide information, reveal character traits, convey emotions, and drive the plot forward. When writing dialogue, it is important to consider its purpose in each scene. Is it meant to reveal a character's backstory? Is it conveying conflict or tension? Understanding the purpose of dialogue will help you write it in a way that is meaningful and impactful. 5.1.2 Capturing natural speech patterns. Authentic dialogue should mimic the way people speak in real life. It should sound natural and reflect the character's personality, background, and emotions. To achieve this, it is important to observe and study how people communicate. Pay attention to the rhythm, tone, and vocabulary they use. Listen to conversations around you, watch movies, and read books to gain a better understanding of different speech patterns. 5.1.3 Using dialogue to reveal character. Dialogue is an excellent tool for revealing character traits and motivations. Through their words, characters can express their beliefs, desires, fears, and conflicts. When writing dialogue, consider how each character would speak based on their background, education, and personality. A well-crafted dialogue can provide insights into a character's values, attitudes, and worldview. 5.1.4 Balancing dialogue and narrative. While dialogue is important, it should be balanced with narrative descriptions and actions. Too much dialogue can make a story feel like a script, lacking depth and visual imagery. On the other hand, too little dialogue can make a story feel dry and detached. Finding the right balance between dialogue and narrative will help create a well-rounded and engaging story. 5.1.5 Dialogue tags and punctuation. Dialogue tags are used to attribute speech to a specific character. They help readers identify who is speaking and add clarity to the conversation. Common dialogue tags include said, asked, replied, and whispered. It is important to use dialogue tags sparingly and vary them to avoid repetition. Additionally, proper punctuation is crucial in dialogue to indicate pauses, interruptions, and emotions. 5.1.6 Subtext and hidden meanings. Dialogue can be more than just the words spoken. It can contain subtext and hidden meanings that add depth to the story. Subtext refers to the underlying message or intention behind the words. Characters may say one thing but mean another, creating tension and intrigue. Skillfully incorporating subtext into dialogue can create layers of meaning and engage readers on a deeper level. 5.1.7 Show, don't tell. In dialogue, it is often more effective to show rather than tell. Instead of explicitly stating a character's emotions or thoughts, allow their words and actions to reveal them. For example, instead of saying, "I'm angry," a character might say, "How could you do this to me?" This approach allows readers to interpret the emotions and motivations of the characters themselves, making the story more engaging and immersive. 5.1.8 Maintaining consistency. Consistency is key when writing dialogue. Each character should have a distinct voice and speech pattern that remains consistent throughout the story. Pay attention to their vocabulary, sentence structure, and use of slang or formal language. Consistency in dialogue helps readers identify and connect with characters, making them feel more real and relatable. 5.1.9 Editing and polishing dialogue. Like any other aspect of writing, dialogue requires editing and polishing. Read your dialogue out loud to ensure it sounds natural and flows smoothly. Remove any unnecessary or repetitive dialogue that does not contribute to the story. Consider the pacing and rhythm of the conversation, making sure it aligns with the tone and mood of the scene. Finally, seek feedback from beta readers or writing groups to gain different perspectives on your dialogue. Writing authentic dialogue is a skill that can be developed with practice and observation. By understanding the purpose of dialogue, capturing natural speech patterns, and using it to reveal character and advance the plot, you can create compelling and engaging conversations that bring your story to life. Remember to balance dialogue with narrative, use dialogue tags and punctuation effectively, incorporate subtext and hidden meanings, and maintain consistency in each character's voice. With these techniques in mind, you can master the art of writing authentic dialogue and enhance the overall quality of your storytelling. 5.2 Using dialogue to reveal character. Dialogue is a powerful tool in storytelling that allows writers to bring their characters to life. Through the words spoken by the characters, readers can gain insight into their personalities, motivations, and relationships. Effective dialogue not only moves the plot forward but also reveals important aspects of the characters, making them more relatable and engaging to the readers. 5.2.1 Authentic and natural dialogue. To use dialogue effectively in revealing character, it is crucial to write authentic and natural-sounding conversations. Dialogue should reflect how people actually speak, with all the quirks, pauses, and interruptions that occur in real-life conversations. By capturing the rhythm and flow of natural speech, writers can create dialogue that feels genuine and believable. One way to achieve authentic dialogue is by listening to how people talk in everyday life. Pay attention to the way people express themselves, their choice of words, and their unique speech patterns. Incorporating these elements into your character's dialogue can make them more realistic and relatable. Additionally, it is important to consider the context and the characters' backgrounds when crafting dialogue. Different characters will have different speech patterns, vocabulary, and accents based on factors such as their age, education, social status, and cultural background. By tailoring the dialogue to each character, you can further enhance their individuality and make them more distinct. 5.2.2 Revealing personality and emotions. Dialogue can be a powerful tool for revealing a character's personality and emotions. The words a character chooses, the tone they use, and the way they respond to others can provide valuable insights into their traits and attitudes. For example, a character who speaks in a formal and polite manner may be seen as reserved or respectful. On the other hand, a character who uses slang and informal language may come across as more laid-back or rebellious. By carefully selecting the words and phrases used by each character, writers can convey their unique personalities and create a more immersive reading experience. In addition to personality, dialogue can also reveal a character's emotions. Through their words, characters can express joy, anger, sadness, fear, or any other emotion they may be experiencing. By paying attention to the tone, volume, and choice of words, readers can gain insight into the character's emotional state. For example, short and curt responses may indicate anger or frustration, while hesitant and uncertain speech may suggest fear or anxiety. 5.2.3 Subtext and hidden meanings. Dialogue can also be used to convey subtext and hidden meanings. Sometimes, what is left unsaid can be just as important as what is said. Characters may use sarcasm, irony, or double entendre to imply something without explicitly stating it. This adds depth and complexity to the story, allowing readers to interpret the underlying messages and motivations. For instance, a character may say one thing but mean something entirely different. This can create tension and intrigue, as readers try to decipher the hidden meaning behind the words. By using subtext effectively, writers can add layers of complexity to their characters and keep readers engaged. To incorporate subtext into dialogue, writers can use indirect language, ambiguous statements, or nonverbal cues. Characters may avoid discussing certain topics directly or use metaphors and symbolism to convey their true thoughts and feelings. By carefully crafting dialogue with hidden meanings, writers can create a sense of mystery and intrigue, encouraging readers to delve deeper into the story. 5.2.4 Dialogue tags and punctuation. Dialogue tags and punctuation play an important role in conveying the character's emotions and actions during conversations. Dialogue tags, such as, he said, or, she whispered, help identify the speaker and provide context for the dialogue. By using descriptive tags, writers can add depth to the characters' voices and enhance the overall reading experience. Punctuation also plays a crucial role in dialogue. Properly placed commas, periods, question marks, and exclamation points help convey the character's tone and emotions. For example, a question mark at the end of a sentence indicates curiosity or confusion, while an exclamation point suggests excitement or surprise. By paying attention to punctuation, writers can ensure that the dialogue accurately reflects the character's intentions and emotions. However, it is important to use dialogue tags and punctuation sparingly and strategically. Overusing tags or adding unnecessary punctuation can disrupt the flow of the conversation and distract readers from the content. It is best to let the dialogue itself carry the weight of the character's emotions and actions, using tags and punctuation only when necessary. In conclusion, dialogue is a powerful tool for revealing character in storytelling. By crafting authentic and natural-sounding conversations, writers can bring their characters to life and make them more relatable to readers. Through dialogue, writers can reveal personality traits, emotions, and hidden meanings, adding depth and complexity to the story. By paying attention to dialogue tags and punctuation, writers can further enhance the characters' voices and create a more immersive reading experience. 5.3 Dialogue tags and punctuation. Dialogue tags and punctuation play a crucial role in conveying the spoken words of your characters effectively. They help to identify who is speaking and provide context to the reader. In this section, we will explore the different types of dialogue tags and how to punctuate them correctly. 5.3.1 Types of dialogue tags. Dialogue tags are words or phrases that attribute speech to a specific character. They can be used to indicate who is speaking, how they are speaking, or to provide additional information about the dialogue. Here are some common types of dialogue tags. Said. This is the most common and neutral dialogue tag. It is used to simply indicate that a character is speaking. For example, I can't believe it, she said. Asked. This dialogue tag is used when a character is asking a question. It indicates that the character's speech is in the form of a question. For example, where are you going? He asked. Replied. This dialogue tag is used when a character is responding to a question or statement. It indicates that the character is providing a direct response. For example, I'm going to the park, she replied. Exclaimed. This dialogue tag is used when a character is speaking with excitement or strong emotion. It indicates that the character's speech is enthusiastic or passionate. For example, I won the lottery, he exclaimed. Whispered. This dialogue tag is used when a character is speaking in a soft or hushed voice. It indicates that the character's speech is meant to be heard only by a specific person or a small group. For example, I have a secret, she whispered. Muttered. This dialogue tag is used when a character is speaking in a low or indistinct voice. It indicates that the character's speech is not meant to be heard clearly by others. For example, I can't believe this, he muttered. 5.3.2 Punctuating dialogue tags. Proper punctuation is essential when using dialogue tags. It helps to clarify the flow of the conversation and make it easier for the reader to follow. Here are some guidelines for punctuating dialogue tags. Commas. When a dialogue tag is used before or after the spoken words, it is separated from the dialogue with a comma. For example, I'm so excited, she said. He asked, what time is it? Periods. If the dialogue tag comes after the spoken words and the sentence is a complete thought, it is followed by a period. For example, I can't wait to see you, she said. I'm not sure, he replied. Question marks. If the dialogue tag comes after the spoken words and the sentence is a question, it is followed by a question mark. For example, are you coming with us? She asked. What do you think? He inquired. Exclamation marks. If the dialogue tag comes after the spoken words and the sentence is an exclamation, it is followed by an exclamation mark. For example, "I can't believe it," she exclaimed. "That's amazing," he shouted. Quotation marks. The spoken words of the character are always enclosed in quotation marks. This helps to differentiate the dialogue from the dialogue tag. For example, "I'll be there soon," she said. He asked, "Where are we going?" 5.3.3 Using dialogue tags sparingly. While dialogue tags are necessary to attribute speech to characters, it is important to use them sparingly. Overusing dialogue tags can make the writing feel repetitive and disrupt the flow of the conversation. Instead, focus on using other techniques such as action beats or character reactions to indicate who is speaking. This will make the dialogue more engaging and natural. Additionally, consider using alternative verbs or adverbs to vary your dialogue tags. Instead of always using said, explore words like whispered, shouted, or muttered to add depth and nuance to your character's speech. However, be cautious not to overuse these alternatives as well, as it can become distracting. 5.3.4 Formatting dialogue tags in writing. When formatting dialogue tags in writing, it is important to follow certain conventions to ensure clarity and consistency. Here are some formatting guidelines for dialogue tags. Indentation. Start a new paragraph each time a different character speaks. Indent the dialogue tag to separate it from the spoken words. For example, "I can't believe it," she said. "Believe it or not," he replied, "it's true." Capitalization. Capitalize the first letter of the dialogue tag if it is a complete sentence. If the dialogue tag is a continuation of the sentence, use lowercase. For example, "I'm so tired," she said, "I need some rest." "Where are you going?" he asked. Quotation marks. Enclose the spoken words of the character in double quotation marks. This helps to distinguish the dialogue from the narrative. For example, "I'll see you tomorrow," she said. He asked, "What time is the meeting?" Remember to proofread your dialogue tags and punctuation to ensure accuracy and consistency throughout your writing. Properly punctuated dialogue tags will enhance the readability and flow of your story, allowing the reader to fully immerse themselves in the conversations between your characters. 5.4 Subtext and hidden meanings. In the art of storytelling, there is often more to a story than what meets the eye. Subtext and hidden meanings play a crucial role in adding depth and complexity to a narrative. They allow the writer to convey underlying themes, emotions, and ideas that may not be explicitly stated in the dialogue or actions of the characters. Subtext and hidden meanings engage the reader's imagination and invite them to interpret the story on a deeper level. 5.4.1 The power of subtext. Subtext refers to the underlying message or meaning that is implied but not directly stated in the story. It is the unspoken thoughts, desires, and motivations of the characters that are revealed through their actions, gestures, and even silence. Subtext adds layers of complexity to the narrative, making it more intriguing and thought-provoking for the reader. One of the most powerful aspects of subtext is its ability to create tension and conflict. When characters say one thing but mean another, it creates a sense of dramatic irony and keeps the reader engaged. For example, a character might say they are happy for their friend's success, but their body language and tone of voice reveal their true feelings of jealousy or resentment. This creates a subtle tension that adds depth to the relationship between the characters. Subtext can also be used to explore complex emotions and themes. By leaving certain aspects of the story unsaid, the writer allows the reader to fill in the gaps and draw their own conclusions. This encourages a more active and immersive reading experience. For example, a character's actions may suggest a deep sense of guilt or regret, even though they never explicitly express it. This allows the reader to delve into the character's psyche and empathize with their internal struggles. 5.4.2 Creating subtext. Creating effective subtext requires careful consideration and attention to detail. Here are some techniques that can help you incorporate subtext into your storytelling. Contradictions. Explore the contradictions between what characters say and what they do. This can reveal their true intentions and motivations. For example, a character who claims to value honesty but constantly lies to protect themselves may have a hidden fear of vulnerability. Symbolism. Symbolism can be a powerful tool for conveying hidden meanings. Objects, colors, or recurring motifs can represent deeper ideas or emotions. For instance, a red rose may symbolize love or passion, while a broken mirror may represent shattered self-image or identity. Metaphors and similes. Metaphors and similes can be used to convey abstract concepts or emotions indirectly. By comparing one thing to another, you can evoke a specific mood or atmosphere. For example, describing a character's heart as a stone suggests emotional coldness or detachment. Nonverbal communication. Pay attention to nonverbal cues such as body language, facial expressions, and gestures. These can often reveal more about a character's true thoughts and feelings than their words. A character who avoids eye contact or fidgets nervously may be hiding something. Dialogue subtext. Craft dialogue that has multiple layers of meaning. Characters can use double entendres, sarcasm, or veiled references to convey hidden messages. This adds depth to their interactions and allows the reader to uncover the subtext beneath their words. 5.4.3 Uncovering hidden meanings. As a reader, uncovering hidden meanings and subtext can be a rewarding and engaging experience. Here are some tips to help you interpret and analyze the subtext in a story. Pay attention to details. Look for subtle clues and hints scattered throughout the narrative. These can be found in the descriptions, actions, and dialogue of the characters. Pay attention to recurring motifs, symbols, and patterns that may hold deeper significance. Consider context. Consider the broader context of the story, including the themes, setting, and character relationships. This can provide valuable insights into the hidden meanings behind certain actions or events. Read between the lines. Look beyond the surface level of the story and try to decipher the underlying emotions and motivations of the characters. Ask yourself why a character might be behaving a certain way or what their actions might symbolize. Engage in critical thinking. Analyze the story from different angles and perspectives. Consider how the subtext contributes to the overall themes and messages of the narrative. Reflect on how the hidden meanings enhance your understanding and interpretation of the story. By delving into the subtext and uncovering hidden meanings, both writers and readers can elevate the storytelling experience. Subtext adds depth, complexity, and nuance to a narrative, allowing for a more profound exploration of themes, emotions, and ideas. It invites readers to engage actively with the story, fostering a deeper connection and understanding. So, embrace the power of subtext and hidden meanings in your storytelling, and watch your narrative come alive with layers of meaning and intrigue. 6. Narrative point of view. 6.1 Choosing the right point of view. The point of view (POV) in storytelling refers to the perspective from which the story is told. It determines who the narrator is and how the events of the story are presented to the reader. Choosing the right point of view is crucial as it can greatly impact the reader's experience and the overall effectiveness of the narrative. 6.1.1 First-person narration. First-person narration is when the story is told from the perspective of one character, using pronouns such as I and me. This POV allows the reader to experience the story through the eyes and thoughts of the protagonist, creating a sense of intimacy and immediacy. It can be highly effective in creating a strong connection between the reader and the main character. One of the advantages of first-person narration is the ability to delve deep into the protagonist's emotions, thoughts, and motivations. The reader gains a direct insight into the character's inner world, making it easier to empathize and understand their actions. This POV is particularly useful when the story revolves around a character's personal journey or transformation. However, first-person narration also has its limitations. Since the story is limited to the perspective of a single character, the reader only has access to their thoughts and experiences. This can restrict the reader's understanding of other characters and events happening outside the protagonist's immediate awareness. It is important for the author to carefully consider whether this limitation aligns with the story they want to tell. 6.1.2 Third-person narration. Third-person narration is when the story is told by a narrator who is not a character in the story. This POV uses pronouns such as he, she, and they to refer to the characters. Third-person narration can be further divided into limited and omniscient. In limited third-person narration, the story is told from the perspective of one character at a time. The reader is given access to the thoughts and feelings of the chosen character, but not to those of other characters. This allows for a more intimate connection with the focal character while still providing some distance and objectivity. On the other hand, omniscient third-person narration allows the narrator to have knowledge of the thoughts and feelings of multiple characters. This gives the author the freedom to explore different perspectives and provide a broader understanding of the story. However, it is important to maintain consistency and clarity when switching between different character viewpoints. Third-person narration offers more flexibility compared to first-person narration. It allows the author to provide a more comprehensive view of the story, including multiple characters, settings, and events. This can be particularly useful in complex narratives with multiple plotlines or when the author wants to maintain a certain level of objectivity. 6.1.3 Multiple points of view. In some stories, the author may choose to use multiple points of view to tell the narrative. This involves switching between different characters' perspectives throughout the story. This technique can add depth and complexity to the storytelling, allowing the reader to see the events from various angles. Using multiple points of view can be effective in creating a sense of suspense, as the reader gains insights into different characters' thoughts and motivations. It can also provide a more well-rounded understanding of the story, as different characters may have different interpretations of events. However, it is important to use multiple points of view judiciously. Switching between characters too frequently or without clear purpose can confuse the reader and disrupt the flow of the narrative. It is crucial to ensure that each character's perspective adds value to the story and contributes to its overall development. When choosing the right point of view for your story, consider the following questions. Whose perspective is most important for the story you want to tell? Do you want the reader to have a deep connection with a single character or a broader understanding of multiple characters? How much distance or objectivity do you want to maintain between the reader and the characters? Does the chosen point of view align with the themes and tone of your story? By carefully considering these questions and experimenting with different points of view, you can choose the one that best serves your narrative and engages your readers. Remember, the point of view is a powerful tool that can shape the reader's experience and bring your story to life. 6.2 First-person narration. First-person narration is a powerful storytelling technique that allows the reader to experience the story through the eyes and perspective of the protagonist. It creates a sense of intimacy and immediacy, drawing the reader into the character's thoughts, emotions, and experiences. In this chapter, we will explore the art of first-person narration and how to effectively use it in your storytelling. 6.2.1 The advantages of first-person narration. First-person narration offers several advantages that can enhance the impact of your story. One of the main advantages is the ability to create a strong connection between the reader and the protagonist. By using I, or we, as the narrative voice, the reader becomes intimately involved in the character's journey, experiencing their joys, fears, and triumphs firsthand. Another advantage of first-person narration is the opportunity to explore the character's inner thoughts and feelings. Through the protagonist's internal monologue, you can delve deep into their motivations, desires, and conflicts. This introspection adds depth and complexity to the character, making them more relatable and engaging to the reader. First-person narration also allows for a unique storytelling perspective. The character becomes the storyteller, shaping the narrative with their own biases, opinions, and perceptions. This subjective viewpoint can add layers of complexity to the story, as the reader must navigate through the character's biases and interpretations to uncover the truth. 6.2.2 Establishing the voice of the protagonist. When using first-person narration, it is crucial to establish a distinct and authentic voice for the protagonist. The voice should reflect the character's personality, background, and experiences. Consider their age, education, cultural background, and any other relevant factors that shape their worldview. To establish the voice of the protagonist, pay attention to their word choice, sentence structure, and tone. Are they formal or informal? Do they use slang or speak in a more sophisticated manner? Are they optimistic or cynical? These choices will help bring the character to life and make their narrative voice believable and consistent. It is also important to consider the character's level of self-awareness. Are they introspective and reflective, or do they have a more limited understanding of themselves and the world around them? This will influence how they describe their experiences and interpret events. 6.2.3 Limitations and challenges of first-person narration. While first-person narration offers many advantages, it also comes with certain limitations and challenges. One of the main limitations is the restricted perspective. The reader can only see and experience the story through the eyes of the protagonist, which means they may miss out on important events or information happening outside of the character's awareness. Another challenge is maintaining consistency in the narrative voice. Since the story is told from the perspective of a single character, it can be difficult to convey information or events that the protagonist is not directly involved in. This requires careful planning and creative storytelling techniques to ensure that the reader receives all the necessary information without breaking the immersion of the first-person narrative. Additionally, first-person narration can limit the scope of the story. The reader is confined to the thoughts and experiences of the protagonist, which may restrict the exploration of other characters or subplots. It is important to consider whether the story can be effectively told through a single perspective or if a different narrative approach would better serve the plot and themes. 6.2.4 Using first-person narration effectively. To use first-person narration effectively, it is important to consider the purpose and impact it will have on your story. Ask yourself why you have chosen this narrative perspective and how it enhances the themes, characters, and plot. One effective way to use first-person narration is to create an unreliable narrator. This is a character whose perspective and interpretation of events may be skewed or biased. This can add intrigue and suspense to the story, as the reader must question the reliability of the narrator and piece together the truth. Another approach is to use first-person narration to explore the character's growth and transformation. By witnessing the character's thoughts and emotions firsthand, the reader can experience their journey of self-discovery and change. This can create a powerful emotional connection and make the character's development more impactful. Lastly, consider the pacing and structure of your story when using first-person narration. The character's voice and perspective should align with the overall tone and style of the narrative. Experiment with different techniques, such as using present tense for a sense of immediacy or incorporating flashbacks to provide backstory and context. In conclusion, first-person narration is a valuable tool in the art of storytelling. It allows the reader to intimately connect with the protagonist, explore their inner thoughts and feelings, and experience the story through their unique perspective. By establishing a distinct voice for the protagonist and considering the limitations and challenges of this narrative approach, you can effectively use first-person narration to enhance the impact and depth of your storytelling. 6.3 Third-person narration. In the world of storytelling, the narrative point of view plays a crucial role in how the story is presented to the reader. While first-person narration allows for a deep exploration of a single character's thoughts and experiences, third-person narration offers a broader perspective that can encompass multiple characters and events. Third-person narration is a popular choice among authors due to its versatility and ability to provide a more objective view of the story. 6.3.1 The omniscient narrator. One of the most common forms of third-person narration is the omniscient narrator. This narrative perspective allows the author to have complete knowledge and insight into the thoughts, feelings, and actions of all the characters in the story. The omniscient narrator acts as a sort of godlike figure, providing an objective and all-knowing viewpoint. With an omniscient narrator, the author has the freedom to move between different characters and settings, providing a comprehensive view of the story. This allows for a more expansive and detailed narrative, as the reader can gain insight into the motivations and perspectives of multiple characters. However, it is important for authors to exercise caution when using an omniscient narrator. With such a broad perspective, it can be easy to overwhelm the reader with too much information or confuse them with frequent shifts in focus. It is crucial to maintain clarity and coherence in the storytelling, ensuring that the reader can follow the narrative without feeling lost or disconnected. 6.3.2 The limited third-person narrator. Another approach to third-person narration is the limited third-person perspective. In this narrative style, the author focuses on a single character's thoughts, feelings, and experiences, while still maintaining the use of third-person pronouns. The limited third-person narrator provides a more intimate and personal view of the story, allowing the reader to connect deeply with the protagonist. By using a limited third-person narrator, authors can create a strong sense of empathy and identification with the main character. The reader is able to experience the story through the character's eyes, sharing their joys, fears, and struggles. This narrative technique can be particularly effective in creating a strong emotional connection between the reader and the protagonist. However, it is important to note that the limited third-person perspective does have its limitations. Since the narrative is confined to a single character's viewpoint, the reader may miss out on important information or events happening outside of the protagonist's awareness. Authors must carefully consider what information to reveal and when, ensuring that the reader has enough context to understand the story without feeling confused or left in the dark. 6.3.3 Third-person objective narration. In contrast to the omniscient and limited third-person perspectives, third-person objective narration takes a more detached and impartial approach. With this narrative style, the author presents the story from an external viewpoint, providing only observable actions and dialogue without delving into the character's thoughts or emotions. Third-person objective narration can create a sense of objectivity and neutrality, allowing the reader to form their own interpretations and judgments about the characters and events. This narrative technique is often used in journalistic writing or when the author wants to maintain a certain level of distance from the story. However, it is important to note that third-person objective narration can also create a sense of detachment and lack of emotional connection. Without insight into the character's thoughts and feelings, the reader may struggle to fully engage with the story on an emotional level. Authors must carefully consider the impact they want to achieve and whether this narrative style aligns with their storytelling goals. 6.3.4 Choosing the right third-person perspective. When deciding on the appropriate third-person perspective for your story, it is important to consider the overall tone, themes, and goals of your narrative. Each perspective offers unique advantages and challenges, and the choice should be made with careful consideration of how it will impact the reader's experience. Consider the level of intimacy and emotional connection you want to establish with your characters. If you want the reader to have a deep understanding of multiple characters' thoughts and emotions, an omniscient narrator may be the best choice. If you want to create a strong identification with a single protagonist, a limited third-person perspective may be more effective. And if you want to maintain a sense of objectivity and allow the reader to form their own interpretations, third-person objective narration may be the way to go. Ultimately, the choice of third-person perspective should serve the story and enhance the reader's experience. By carefully considering the advantages and limitations of each perspective, authors can make an informed decision that aligns with their storytelling goals and creates a compelling and engaging narrative. 6.4 Multiple points of view. In storytelling, the narrative point of view refers to the perspective from which the story is told. It determines who is telling the story and how the events and characters are portrayed. While single point of view narratives are common, using multiple points of view can add depth and complexity to a story. This technique allows the reader to see the events and characters from different angles, providing a more comprehensive understanding of the story. 6.4.1 Advantages of multiple points of view. Using multiple points of view in a story offers several advantages. Firstly, it allows the reader to gain insights into the thoughts, emotions, and motivations of different characters. By presenting the story from various perspectives, the author can create a more nuanced and well-rounded portrayal of the characters, making them feel more realistic and relatable. Secondly, multiple points of view can help to build suspense and tension in a story. By switching between different characters' perspectives, the author can create a sense of anticipation and keep the reader engaged. This technique allows the author to reveal information gradually, heightening the suspense and making the story more compelling. Furthermore, using multiple points of view can provide a broader understanding of the story's events and themes. Different characters may have different experiences and interpretations of the same events, allowing the reader to see the story from various angles. This can lead to a deeper exploration of the story's themes and a more comprehensive understanding of its message. 6.4.2 Managing multiple points of view. While using multiple points of view can be effective, it also presents challenges for the author. It is important to manage the transitions between different perspectives smoothly to avoid confusing the reader. Here are some tips for effectively managing multiple points of view. Clearly establish each character's voice. Each character should have a distinct voice and personality. This will help the reader differentiate between the different perspectives and prevent confusion. Use clear transitions. When switching between different points of view, use clear transitions to signal the change. This can be done through chapter breaks, section breaks, or even subheadings. Clear transitions help the reader adjust to the change in perspective and prevent disorientation. Limit the number of perspectives. While multiple points of view can add depth to a story, it is important not to overwhelm the reader with too many perspectives. Limit the number of perspectives to a manageable amount, focusing on the characters that are most relevant to the story. Ensure each perspective adds value. Each point of view should contribute something meaningful to the story. Avoid including perspectives that do not add depth or insight. Each character's perspective should offer a unique viewpoint that enhances the overall narrative. Maintain consistency. While each character may have a different perspective, it is important to maintain consistency in the storytelling. Ensure that the events and details remain consistent across different perspectives to avoid confusion or contradictions. 6.4.3 Examples of multiple points of view. Many successful novels have employed multiple points of view to great effect. One notable example is Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. The story is told from the alternating perspectives of Nick and Amy, a married couple whose relationship takes a dark turn. By presenting the story from both characters' perspectives, the author creates a suspenseful and complex narrative that keeps the reader guessing. Another example is The Help by Catherine Stockett. The story is told from the perspectives of 3 different women living in Jackson, Mississippi, during the civil rights movement. By presenting the story from the perspectives of Skeeter, Abilene, and Minnie, the author provides a multifaceted exploration of race, class, and gender in the 1960s South. These examples demonstrate how multiple points of view can enhance a story by offering different perspectives, building suspense, and exploring complex themes. 6.4.4 Conclusion. Using multiple points of view in storytelling can be a powerful technique to create depth, suspense, and a more comprehensive understanding of the story. By presenting the narrative from different perspectives, the author can offer insights into the thoughts, emotions, and motivations of various characters. However, it is important to manage the transitions between perspectives effectively and ensure that each perspective adds value to the overall narrative. When used skillfully, multiple points of view can elevate a story and engage the reader on a deeper level. 7. Creating atmosphere and mood. 7.1 Setting the tone. Setting the tone is a crucial aspect of storytelling that sets the mood and atmosphere for the entire narrative. It is the literary technique used by authors to convey the emotional or psychological attitude of the story. The tone can greatly influence how readers perceive and interpret the events, characters, and themes within the story. By carefully selecting the right tone, authors can effectively engage readers and enhance the overall impact of their storytelling. 7.1.1 Establishing the narrative voice. One of the primary ways to set the tone is through the narrative voice. The narrative voice refers to the perspective from which a story is told and the language and style used by the narrator. The choice of narrative voice can greatly influence the tone of the story. For example, a first-person narrator may create a more intimate and personal tone, while a third-person omniscient narrator may create a more objective and distant tone. When establishing the narrative voice, authors should consider the personality, background, and perspective of the narrator. This will help determine the appropriate tone for the story. For instance, a narrator who is cynical and jaded may adopt a sarcastic and sardonic tone, while a narrator who is optimistic and hopeful may adopt a more uplifting and positive tone. 7.1.2 Selecting the right language and vocabulary. The choice of language and vocabulary is another essential element in setting the tone of a story. Different words and phrases can evoke different emotions and create a specific atmosphere. Authors should carefully select words that align with the desired tone of the story. For example, if the story aims to create a dark and ominous tone, the author may use words with negative connotations, such as sinister, haunting, or foreboding. On the other hand, if the story aims to create a light and whimsical tone, the author may use words with positive connotations, such as magical, enchanting, or playful. Additionally, the use of figurative language, such as metaphors, similes, and personification, can also contribute to setting the tone. These literary devices can add depth and richness to the language, enhancing the overall tone of the story. 7.1.3 Creating a visual and sensory experience. To effectively set the tone, authors should engage the reader's senses and create a vivid and immersive experience. By appealing to the reader's visual, auditory, olfactory, and tactile senses, authors can transport them into the world of the story and evoke specific emotions. Descriptive language plays a crucial role in creating this sensory experience. By providing detailed and evocative descriptions of the setting, characters, and events, authors can paint a vivid picture in the reader's minds. For example, instead of simply stating that it was raining, the author may describe the rain as torrential downpour, relentless sheets of water, or gentle drizzle, each creating a different tone and atmosphere. Furthermore, the use of sensory details, such as the smell of freshly baked bread, the sound of crashing waves, or the feel of a soft breeze, can further enhance the tone and immerse readers in the story. 7.1.4 Balancing dialogue and narrative. The balance between dialogue and narrative also plays a significant role in setting the tone. Dialogue allows readers to directly experience the character's thoughts, emotions, and interactions, while narrative provides the overall context and description. When setting the tone, authors should consider the balance between dialogue and narrative. Dialogue can be used to reveal the characters' personalities, attitudes, and emotions, which can contribute to the overall tone of the story. By carefully crafting the dialogue, authors can create a realistic and authentic tone that resonates with readers. However, it is important to strike a balance between dialogue and narrative. Too much dialogue can disrupt the flow of the story and make it feel disjointed, while too much narrative can make the story feel heavy and slow-paced. Finding the right balance will ensure that the tone is effectively conveyed without sacrificing the overall storytelling. 7.1.5 Consistency and Cohesion. Lastly, to effectively set the tone, authors must maintain consistency and cohesion throughout the story. The tone should be established early on and maintained consistently throughout the narrative. Sudden shifts in tone can confuse readers and disrupt their immersion in the story. Authors should also ensure that the tone aligns with the overall themes, plot, and character development. A cohesive tone that complements the other elements of the story will create a more immersive and impactful reading experience. In conclusion, setting the tone is a vital aspect of storytelling that greatly influences how readers perceive and interpret a story. By carefully selecting the narrative voice, language, sensory details, and balancing dialogue and narrative, authors can effectively set the desired tone. Consistency and cohesion are also crucial in maintaining the tone throughout the narrative. By mastering the art of setting the tone, authors can create engaging and impactful stories that resonate with readers. 7.2 Using descriptive language. Descriptive language is a powerful tool that writers use to bring their stories to life. It allows readers to vividly imagine the scenes, characters, and emotions being portrayed in the narrative. By using descriptive language effectively, writers can create a rich and immersive experience for their readers, making the story more engaging and memorable. 7.2.1 Creating vivid imagery. One of the primary purposes of descriptive language is to create vivid imagery in the reader's mind. By carefully choosing words and phrases that appeal to the senses, writers can paint a detailed picture of the story's setting, characters, and events. For example, instead of simply stating that a character is sad, a writer can use descriptive language to convey the character's emotions more effectively. They might describe the character's tear-streaked face, slumped shoulders, and trembling voice, allowing the reader to truly feel the depth of their sadness. To create vivid imagery, writers can employ various literary devices such as similes, metaphors, and personification. These devices help to make descriptions more engaging and memorable. For instance, a writer might compare a character's laughter to the sound of tinkling bells, instantly evoking a sense of joy and lightness. By using descriptive language in this way, writers can transport readers into the world of their story, making it feel more real and tangible. 7.2.2 Setting the scene. Descriptive language is particularly important when it comes to setting the scene. Whether it's a bustling city street, a serene countryside, or a mysterious castle, the way a writer describes the setting can greatly impact the reader's experience. By using descriptive language to highlight specific details, writers can create a sense of place and atmosphere that draws readers in. For example, instead of simply stating that a scene takes place in a forest, a writer can use descriptive language to paint a more vivid picture. They might describe the towering trees, the dappled sunlight filtering through the leaves, and the earthy scent of moss and damp soil. By providing these sensory details, the writer not only helps the reader visualize the scene but also creates a more immersive experience. 7.2.3 Portraying characters. Descriptive language is also crucial when it comes to portraying characters. By using vivid and specific descriptions, writers can bring their characters to life and make them more relatable to readers. Instead of relying solely on dialogue or actions, descriptive language allows writers to delve deeper into a character's appearance, personality, and emotions. For instance, instead of simply stating that a character has blue eyes, a writer can use descriptive language to convey the depth and intensity of those eyes. They might describe them as piercing sapphire orbs, or sparkling pools of azure. These descriptions not only provide a visual image but also give insight into the character's personality and emotions. 7.2.4 Creating emotional impact. Descriptive language plays a crucial role in creating emotional impact within a story. By using carefully chosen words and phrases, writers can evoke a wide range of emotions in their readers. Whether it's joy, sadness, fear, or excitement, descriptive language allows writers to convey these emotions in a more powerful and visceral way. For example, instead of simply stating that a character is scared, a writer can use descriptive language to make the reader feel the character's fear. They might describe the character's racing heartbeat, sweaty palms, and the cold shiver that runs down their spine. By using descriptive language to convey these physical sensations, the writer immerses the reader in the character's experience, intensifying the emotional impact of the story. 7.2.5 Enhancing the narrative flow. In addition to creating vivid imagery and emotional impact, descriptive language also helps to enhance the overall flow of the narrative. By using descriptive language to transition between scenes, introduce new characters, or describe actions, writers can create a seamless and engaging reading experience. For example, instead of abruptly shifting from one scene to another, a writer can use descriptive language to smoothly transition between the two. They might describe the fading sunset in one scene and then seamlessly transition to the rising moon in the next, creating a sense of continuity and cohesion. 7.2.6 Striking a balance. While descriptive language is essential for creating an immersive and engaging story, it's important for writers to strike a balance. Overusing descriptive language can lead to excessive detail and slow down the pacing of the narrative. On the other hand, underusing descriptive language can result in a lack of depth and engagement. Writers should aim to use descriptive language strategically, focusing on the most important and impactful moments in the story. By choosing the right moments to employ descriptive language, writers can create a powerful and memorable reading experience without overwhelming the reader with unnecessary detail. In conclusion, descriptive language is a vital tool for writers to bring their stories to life. By creating vivid imagery, setting the scene, portraying characters, evoking emotions, enhancing the narrative flow, and striking a balance, writers can use descriptive language to engage and captivate their readers. By mastering the art of descriptive language, writers can elevate their storytelling and create a truly immersive and memorable experience for their audience. 7.3 Creating emotional impact. Emotions are at the heart of storytelling. They have the power to captivate readers, evoke empathy, and create a lasting impact. As a writer, your ability to effectively convey emotions is crucial in engaging your audience and immersing them in your story. In this section, we will explore various techniques and strategies to create emotional impact in your narrative. 7.3.1 Understanding the power of emotions. Emotions are universal and deeply ingrained in human nature. They connect us on a fundamental level and allow us to relate to the experiences of others. As a writer, tapping into these emotions can help you forge a strong bond between your readers and your characters. To create emotional impact, it is essential to understand the range of emotions and their nuances. Joy, sadness, anger, fear, love, and surprise are just a few examples of the vast spectrum of human emotions. Each emotion carries its own weight and can be used strategically to enhance your storytelling. 7.3.2 Developing empathetic characters. One of the most effective ways to create emotional impact is through the development of empathetic characters. Readers are more likely to connect with characters who evoke empathy and resonate with their own experiences. By crafting well-rounded and relatable characters, you can elicit a strong emotional response from your audience. To develop empathetic characters, consider their backgrounds, motivations, and flaws. Show their vulnerabilities and struggles, as well as their strengths and triumphs. By allowing readers to see themselves in your characters, you can evoke a range of emotions and create a deeper emotional connection. 7.3.3 Show, don't tell. When it comes to creating emotional impact, the age-old advice of show, don't tell, holds true. Instead of explicitly stating a character's emotions, show them through their actions, dialogue, and body language. This allows readers to experience the emotions firsthand and form their own emotional responses. For example, instead of saying, she was sad, you could show the character slumping her shoulders, tears welling up in her eyes, and her voice trembling as she speaks. By painting a vivid picture of the character's emotional state, you can immerse readers in the story and evoke a more powerful emotional response. 7.3.4 Harnessing the power of descriptive language. Descriptive language plays a crucial role in creating emotional impact. By carefully choosing your words and using sensory details, you can evoke specific emotions in your readers. Consider the use of vivid imagery, metaphor, and simile to paint a vivid picture in the reader's mind. For example, instead of saying, the room was messy, you could describe it as, the room was a chaotic jumble of clothes strewn across the floor, books piled haphazardly on the desk, and a faint smell of stale coffee lingering in the air. This description not only conveys the physical state of the room but also evokes a sense of disarray and overwhelm, creating an emotional response in the reader. 7.3.5 Creating emotional arcs. Just as characters undergo arcs of growth and change, emotions can also follow a similar trajectory. By crafting emotional arcs for your characters, you can create a sense of progression and depth in your narrative. Start with an initial emotional state, introduce conflicts and challenges that test their emotions, and allow them to evolve and transform over the course of the story. For example, a character may start the story feeling fearful and insecure but gradually develop courage and confidence as they face and overcome obstacles. This emotional journey adds layers to the character and creates a compelling narrative that resonates with readers. 7.3.6 Balancing emotions. While evoking strong emotions is essential, it is equally important to balance them throughout your story. Too much emotional intensity can overwhelm readers, while too little can leave them feeling disconnected. Strive for a balance that allows for moments of tension, release, and reflection. Consider the pacing of your story and the placement of emotional peaks and valleys. Allow readers moments to catch their breath and process the emotions before diving into the next intense scene. This ebb and flow of emotions will keep readers engaged and invested in your story. 7.3.7 The power of subtext. Subtext refers to the underlying meaning and emotions that are not explicitly stated in the dialogue or narrative. It adds depth and complexity to your storytelling by allowing readers to infer and interpret the emotions beneath the surface. By incorporating subtext, you can create a sense of intrigue and emotional depth in your narrative. For example, a character may say, "I'm fine," but their body language and tone of voice may convey sadness or frustration. This creates a disconnect between what is said and what is felt, adding layers of complexity to the character's emotions and creating a sense of mystery for the reader. 7.3.8 Evoking empathy through shared experiences. To create emotional impact, it can be helpful to tap into shared human experiences. By exploring universal themes and emotions, you can create a sense of empathy and resonance with your readers. Consider the common experiences of love, loss, betrayal, and triumph, and weave them into your narrative to evoke a powerful emotional response. By creating emotional impact in your storytelling, you can transport readers to a world of heightened emotions and leave a lasting impression. Through the development of empathetic characters, the use of descriptive language, and the careful crafting of emotional arcs, you can create a narrative that resonates deeply with your audience. Remember, emotions are the heart of storytelling, and by harnessing their power, you can create a truly impactful and memorable story. 7.4 Building suspense and mystery. Suspense and mystery are essential elements in storytelling that keep readers engaged and eager to uncover what happens next. By creating tension and withholding information, authors can build anticipation and captivate their audience. In this section, we will explore various techniques and strategies to effectively build suspense and mystery in your narrative. 7.4.1 Creating intriguing questions. One of the key ways to build suspense and mystery is by posing intriguing questions that pique the reader's curiosity. By introducing unanswered questions early on, you can create a sense of anticipation and keep readers invested in the story. These questions can revolve around the plot, the characters, or the overall mystery that drives the narrative. For example, you can introduce a mysterious object or event that raises questions in the reader's mind. Who does the object belong to? What is its significance? How does it relate to the larger story? By withholding answers and gradually revealing information, you can maintain suspense and keep readers guessing. 7.4.2 Foreshadowing and clues. Foreshadowing is a powerful tool that allows authors to hint at future events or revelations in the story. By subtly dropping clues and hints throughout the narrative, you can create a sense of anticipation and build suspense. These clues can be small details, seemingly insignificant at first, but gain significance as the story progresses. For instance, you can introduce a character who behaves mysteriously or drops cryptic remarks that foreshadow future events. By strategically placing these clues, you can engage readers in the process of piecing together the puzzle and unraveling the mystery. 7.4.3 Unreliable narrators. Using an unreliable narrator can add an extra layer of suspense and mystery to your story. An unreliable narrator is a character whose perspective or account of events may be distorted or biased. This can create doubt and uncertainty in the reader's mind, making them question the truthfulness of the narrative. By presenting conflicting information or revealing the narrator's hidden motives, you can keep readers on their toes and heighten the suspense. However, it is important to ensure that the unreliability of the narrator serves a purpose in the story and does not confuse or frustrate the reader. 7.4.4 Pacing and timing. The pacing and timing of your narrative play a crucial role in building suspense and mystery. By carefully controlling the flow of information, you can create tension and keep readers engaged. Slow down the pace during suspenseful moments to heighten the anticipation, and speed up during action-packed scenes to maintain the momentum. Timing is also important when it comes to revealing key information. By strategically choosing when to disclose important plot points or revelations, you can maximize their impact and create a sense of surprise. Delaying the resolution of a mystery until the right moment can keep readers hooked and eager to uncover the truth. 7.4.5 Red herrings. Introducing red herrings is another effective technique to build suspense and mystery. A red herring is a false clue or misleading piece of information that leads readers in the wrong direction. By planting these distractions, you can keep readers guessing and create a sense of uncertainty. For example, you can introduce a suspicious character who appears to be the main antagonist, only to later reveal that they are innocent. This twist can surprise readers and make them question their assumptions, adding complexity to the narrative and heightening the suspense. 7.4.6 Tension and conflict. Tension and conflict are essential ingredients in building suspense and mystery. By creating conflicts between characters or introducing external obstacles, you can keep readers on edge and invested in the outcome. These conflicts can be physical, emotional, or psychological, adding depth and complexity to the story. For instance, you can introduce a race against time or a high-stakes situation where the protagonist must overcome numerous obstacles to achieve their goal. By raising the stakes and increasing the tension, you can create a sense of urgency and keep readers engrossed in the narrative. 7.4.7 Atmosphere and setting. The atmosphere and setting of your story can greatly contribute to the overall sense of suspense and mystery. By creating a dark and foreboding atmosphere, you can enhance the tension and intrigue. Use vivid and descriptive language to paint a picture of the surroundings, evoking a sense of unease or anticipation. For example, a dilapidated mansion shrouded in mist or a deserted alleyway at night can create a sense of mystery and danger. By immersing readers in a rich and atmospheric setting, you can heighten their emotional response and keep them engaged in the story. 7.4.8 Unanswered questions and ambiguity. Leaving some questions unanswered and embracing ambiguity can add depth and intrigue to your narrative. By allowing room for interpretation and multiple possible outcomes, you can keep readers engaged and encourage them to actively participate in the story. For instance, you can end a chapter with a cliffhanger or leave a crucial piece of information open to interpretation. This ambiguity can create a sense of mystery and leave readers eager to uncover the truth. However, it is important to strike a balance and provide enough closure to satisfy readers while still leaving room for speculation. In conclusion, building suspense and mystery is a skill that can greatly enhance your storytelling. By posing intriguing questions, using foreshadowing and clues, employing unreliable narrators, controlling pacing and timing, introducing red herrings, creating tension and conflict, setting the atmosphere, and embracing unanswered questions and ambiguity, you can captivate readers and keep them eagerly turning the pages. Mastering these techniques will allow you to create compelling narratives that leave a lasting impact on your audience. 8. Writing effective beginnings. 8.1 Hooking the reader. The beginning of a story is crucial in capturing the reader's attention and drawing them into the narrative. It is the moment when the writer has the opportunity to hook the reader and make them invested in the story that is about to unfold. In this section, we will explore various techniques and strategies to effectively hook the reader from the very first sentence. 8.1.1 The opening sentence. The opening sentence of a story holds immense power. It sets the tone, establishes the narrative voice, and creates intrigue. A strong opening sentence can immediately captivate the reader and make them curious to know more. It should be concise, impactful, and leave the reader wanting to delve deeper into the story. One effective way to hook the reader is by starting with a compelling statement or a thought-provoking question. For example, "It was a dark and stormy night," immediately creates a sense of mystery and sets the stage for an atmospheric and suspenseful story. Similarly, a question like, "Have you ever wondered what lies beyond the stars?" piques the reader's curiosity and invites them to explore the unknown. 8.1.2 Introducing conflict. Conflict is the driving force of any story, and introducing it early on can instantly engage the reader. By presenting a problem or a challenge right from the beginning, the reader becomes invested in finding out how the characters will overcome it. This conflict can be external, such as a physical obstacle or a dangerous situation, or internal, such as a moral dilemma or emotional struggle. For instance, in a crime thriller, the opening scene could depict a murder or a crime being committed, immediately creating a sense of urgency and intrigue. In a romance novel, the conflict could be the protagonist's struggle to choose between two love interests, setting the stage for a captivating love triangle. By introducing conflict early on, the reader is compelled to keep reading to see how the characters navigate and resolve these challenges. 8.1.3 Creating mystery and intrigue. Mystery and intrigue are powerful tools for hooking the reader. By presenting a puzzle or a secret, the writer can entice the reader to continue reading in order to uncover the truth. This can be achieved through the use of enigmatic characters, unexplained events, or hidden motives. One effective technique is to start the story in medias res, or in the middle of the action. By dropping the reader into a scene that is already in progress, with hints of a larger story yet to be revealed, the writer creates an immediate sense of curiosity and intrigue. The reader is left with questions and a desire to uncover the backstory and unravel the mystery. 8.1.4 Evoking emotion. Emotion is a powerful tool for connecting with the reader on a deeper level. By evoking strong emotions right from the beginning, the writer can create an instant bond between the reader and the characters. This can be achieved through vivid descriptions, relatable situations, or by tapping into universal human experiences. For example, a story that begins with a heart-wrenching scene of loss or betrayal immediately elicits empathy from the reader. By experiencing these emotions alongside the characters, the reader becomes emotionally invested in their journey and wants to see how they will overcome their challenges. 8.1.5 Establishing atmosphere and setting. The atmosphere and setting of a story play a crucial role in immersing the reader in the narrative. By vividly describing the surroundings and creating a distinct atmosphere, the writer can transport the reader to a different time, place, or world. This helps to create a sense of immediacy and draws the reader into the story. For example, a story that begins with a description of a dilapidated mansion on a foggy night immediately sets a mysterious and eerie tone. The reader can visualize the setting and is intrigued to discover what secrets lie within the walls of the mansion. By establishing a strong atmosphere and setting, the writer can hook the reader and make them eager to explore the story further. 8.1.6 Using unique narrative techniques. In addition to the aforementioned techniques, writers can also employ unique narrative techniques to hook the reader. This can include starting the story with a memorable quote, using an unconventional narrative structure, or employing a distinctive narrative voice. For instance, a story that begins with a thought-provoking quote that encapsulates the theme or central idea of the story immediately captures the reader's attention. Similarly, a story that is told through a series of nonlinear vignettes or from multiple perspectives can create intrigue and make the reader curious to see how the pieces of the puzzle fit together. In conclusion, hooking the reader is essential for capturing their attention and making them invested in the story. By crafting a strong opening sentence, introducing conflict, creating mystery and intrigue, evoking emotion, establishing atmosphere and setting, and using unique narrative techniques, writers can effectively hook the reader from the very beginning. The opening of a story is the gateway to a captivating narrative, and by employing these strategies, writers can ensure that their readers are eager to embark on the journey that lies ahead. 8.2 Introducing the main conflict. In any compelling story, the main conflict is the driving force that propels the narrative forward and keeps readers engaged. It is the central problem or obstacle that the protagonist must face and overcome in order to achieve their goals. Introducing the main conflict effectively is crucial for capturing the reader's attention and setting the stage for the rest of the story. 8.2.1 Defining the main conflict. The main conflict is the core struggle that the protagonist faces throughout the story. It can take many forms, such as a physical battle, an internal struggle, or a clash of ideologies. This conflict creates tension and raises the stakes, making the story more engaging and compelling. When introducing the main conflict, it is important to clearly define what the protagonist is up against. This can be done through exposition, dialogue, or actions that demonstrate the nature of the conflict. By providing a clear understanding of the main conflict early on, readers can become emotionally invested in the story and the protagonist's journey. 8.2.2 Establishing the significance. To make the main conflict impactful, it is essential to establish its significance within the story. This involves highlighting the potential consequences and implications of the conflict. By showing the potential risks and rewards associated with the conflict, readers can understand why it matters and become more invested in the outcome. One effective way to establish the significance of the main conflict is by demonstrating its impact on the protagonist's life and the world around them. This can be done by showing how the conflict disrupts the protagonist's normal routine, threatens their relationships, or challenges their beliefs. By illustrating the personal and broader implications of the conflict, readers can better understand its importance and the stakes involved. 8.2.3 Creating conflict and tension. Introducing the main conflict is an opportunity to create conflict and tension within the story. Conflict arises when there is a clash of goals, desires, or values between characters or within the protagonist themselves. Tension is the feeling of anticipation or unease that arises from unresolved conflict. To create conflict and tension when introducing the main conflict, consider the following. Opposing forces. Identify the opposing forces involved in the conflict. This could be a rival character, an external threat, or an internal struggle within the protagonist. Conflicting goals. Clearly establish the conflicting goals of the protagonist and the antagonist or opposing forces. This will create a sense of opposition and set the stage for the conflict. Obstacles and challenges. Introduce obstacles and challenges that the protagonist must overcome in order to resolve the conflict. These obstacles can be physical, emotional, or psychological, and should test the protagonist's abilities and determination. Escalation. Gradually escalate the conflict and raise the stakes as the story progresses. This can be done by introducing new challenges, increasing the intensity of the conflict, or revealing unexpected twists and turns. By creating conflict and tension when introducing the main conflict, you can hook readers and keep them engaged throughout the story. 8.2.4 Foreshadowing and suspense. Foreshadowing is a powerful technique that can be used to hint at the main conflict before it fully unfolds. By dropping subtle clues and hints, you can create a sense of anticipation and build suspense in the reader's mind. When introducing the main conflict, consider incorporating foreshadowing elements that allude to the upcoming conflict. This can be done through symbolic imagery, cryptic dialogue, or mysterious events. Foreshadowing not only adds depth and complexity to the story but also keeps readers guessing and eager to uncover the full extent of the conflict. Additionally, suspense can be created by delaying the full revelation of the main conflict. By gradually revealing information and building tension, you can keep readers on the edge of their seats, eagerly turning the pages to find out what happens next. However, it is important to strike a balance between suspense and clarity, ensuring that readers have enough information to understand the conflict and its significance. 8.2.5 The role of the main conflict in the narrative. The main conflict serves as the driving force behind the narrative, shaping the plot and character development. It provides the central focus and purpose of the story, giving the protagonist a clear goal to strive for and obstacles to overcome. Introducing the main conflict effectively is crucial for establishing the story's direction and engaging readers from the beginning. By defining the conflict, establishing its significance, creating conflict and tension, and incorporating foreshadowing and suspense, you can captivate readers and set the stage for a compelling and satisfying narrative. Remember, the main conflict should not only be engaging but also meaningful, reflecting universal themes and exploring the complexities of the human experience. By crafting a well-developed main conflict, you can create a story that resonates with readers long after they have turned the final page. 8.3 Establishing the setting and characters. In order to create a compelling and immersive story, it is crucial to establish the setting and introduce the characters effectively. The setting provides the backdrop for the story, while the characters bring it to life. This section will explore the importance of establishing the setting and characters and provide practical tips on how to do so effectively. 8.3.1 Setting the stage. The setting of a story encompasses the time, place, and atmosphere in which the events unfold. It serves as the foundation upon which the narrative is built and can greatly influence the overall tone and mood of the story. Whether it is a bustling city, a remote village, or a fantastical realm, the setting should be vividly described to transport the reader into the world of the story. To establish the setting effectively, consider the following. Research and observation. Conduct thorough research or draw from personal experiences to accurately depict the chosen setting. Pay attention to details such as geography, climate, architecture, and cultural nuances. This will add authenticity and depth to the narrative. Descriptive language. Use descriptive language to paint a vivid picture of the setting. Engage the reader's senses by describing the sights, sounds, smells, and textures of the environment. This will help create a sensory experience for the reader and make the setting come alive. Show, don't tell. Instead of simply stating the setting, show it through the characters' interactions and observations. For example, instead of saying, "The city was crowded," show the reader the bustling streets, the noise of honking horns, and the sea of people rushing by. This allows the reader to experience the setting firsthand. Symbolism. Utilize symbolism to enhance the meaning and atmosphere of the setting. For instance, a dilapidated house can symbolize decay and despair, while a lush garden can represent growth and renewal. Symbolism adds depth and layers to the setting, making it more memorable and impactful. 8.3.2 Introducing the characters. Characters are the heart and soul of any story. They drive the plot, evoke emotions, and engage the reader on a personal level. Introducing the characters effectively is crucial to establish a connection between the reader and the story. Here are some tips for introducing characters. Character descriptions. Provide physical descriptions of the characters to help the reader visualize them. However, avoid lengthy descriptions that can slow down the pacing of the story. Focus on key features that are relevant to the character's personality or role in the story. Actions and dialogue. Show the characters' personalities through their actions and dialogue. Actions can reveal a character's traits, motivations, and conflicts. Dialogue allows the reader to hear the character's voice and understand their thoughts and emotions. Use dialogue to reveal information about the character's background, relationships, and goals. Backstory. Introduce the character's backstory gradually, weaving it into the narrative. Avoid lengthy info dumps and instead reveal the character's past through dialogue, memories, or interactions with other characters. This adds depth and complexity to the character, making them more relatable and interesting. Character relationships. Show how the characters interact with each other to establish their relationships. This can be done through dialogue, body language, or shared experiences. The dynamics between characters can create tension, conflict, or camaraderie, adding depth to the story. Character arcs. Consider the characters' growth and development throughout the story. Introduce their flaws, desires, and conflicts early on, and show how they evolve and change over time. This allows the reader to become invested in the character's journey and creates a sense of progression and transformation. 8.3.3 Balancing setting and character introductions. When establishing the setting and introducing the characters, it is important to strike a balance between the two. The setting should not overshadow the characters, nor should the characters feel disconnected from their environment. Here are some tips for achieving this balance. Integration. Integrate the setting and character introductions seamlessly. Show how the characters interact with their environment and how the environment shapes their actions and decisions. This creates a cohesive and immersive reading experience. Relevance. Ensure that the setting and character descriptions are relevant to the story. Avoid unnecessary details that do not contribute to the plot or character development. Every description should serve a purpose and enhance the overall narrative. Pacing. Consider the pacing of the story when introducing the setting and characters. Avoid overwhelming the reader with too much information at once. Instead, reveal details gradually, allowing the reader to become familiar with the world and characters at a comfortable pace. By effectively establishing the setting and introducing the characters, you can create a rich and engaging story that captivates the reader from the very beginning. The setting provides the stage on which the characters come to life, and their interactions within this environment drive the narrative forward. Remember to use descriptive language, show rather than tell, and strike a balance between the setting and character introductions. With these techniques, you can create a world that readers will want to explore and characters they will want to accompany on their journey. 8.4 Setting the tone and style. Setting the tone and style of your story is crucial in capturing the attention of your readers and immersing them in the world you have created. The tone and style of your writing will shape the overall atmosphere and mood of your story, influencing how readers perceive and engage with your narrative. In this section, we will explore various techniques and considerations for effectively setting the tone and style of your storytelling. 8.4.1 Understanding tone. The tone of a story refers to the emotional quality or attitude conveyed by the author. It sets the overall mood and atmosphere, influencing how readers feel while reading your story. The tone can be serious, humorous, suspenseful, romantic, or any other emotion you wish to evoke. To effectively set the tone, consider the following techniques. Word choice. Selecting the right words can greatly impact the tone of your story. For example, using vivid and descriptive language can create a more atmospheric and immersive tone, while simple and direct language can create a more straightforward and matter-of-fact tone. Sentence structure. The structure and length of your sentences can also contribute to the tone of your story. Short, concise sentences can create a sense of urgency or tension, while longer, flowing sentences can create a more relaxed or contemplative tone. Figurative language. Incorporating metaphors, similes, and other forms of figurative language can enhance the tone of your story. For instance, using dark and ominous metaphors can create a foreboding and suspenseful tone, while light and playful metaphors can create a lighthearted and whimsical tone. Dialogue. The dialogue between characters can also contribute to the overall tone of your story. The choice of words, the rhythm of speech, and the use of dialect or slang can all shape the tone of the conversation and reflect the personalities of the characters involved. 8.4.2 Establishing style. The style of your writing encompasses a unique voice and manner in which you tell your story. It reflects your individuality as an author and sets your work apart from others. Establishing a consistent and engaging style can captivate readers and make your story more memorable. Consider the following techniques for establishing your writing style. Voice. Your writing voice is the distinctive personality that comes through in your writing. It is the way you express yourself and convey your ideas. Developing a strong and authentic voice will help create a connection between you and your readers. Experiment with different styles and find the one that feels most natural and true to your storytelling. Sentence structure. The way you structure your sentences can contribute to your writing style. Some authors prefer short, punchy sentences, while others favor longer, more complex ones. Experiment with different sentence structures to find the one that best suits your story and enhances your style. Pacing. The pace at which you tell your story can also contribute to your writing style. Some authors prefer a fast-paced, action-packed narrative, while others opt for a slower, more introspective approach. Consider the pacing that best aligns with your story and the emotions you want to evoke in your readers. Imagery. The use of vivid and descriptive imagery can greatly enhance your writing style. Paint a picture with your words, appealing to the senses and creating a rich and immersive experience for your readers. Use sensory details to bring your story to life and make it more engaging. 8.4.3 Balancing tone and style. Finding the right balance between tone and style is essential for creating a cohesive and compelling narrative. The tone and style should work harmoniously to enhance the overall impact of your story. Here are some tips for achieving this balance. Consistency. Maintain consistency in your tone and style throughout your story. Sudden shifts in tone or style can be jarring for readers and disrupt the flow of your narrative. Ensure that your tone and style align with the genre, themes, and overall atmosphere of your story. Character voice. Consider the individual voices of your characters and how they contribute to the overall tone and style of your story. Each character should have a distinct voice that reflects their personality, background, and motivations. This will add depth and authenticity to your storytelling. Reader experience. Keep your target audience in mind when setting the tone and style of your story. Consider their preferences and expectations, and strive to create an experience that resonates with them. Balancing your tone and style with the desires of your readers will help you create a more engaging and satisfying narrative. Remember, setting the tone and style of your story is a creative process that requires experimentation and revision. Take the time to explore different techniques and find the approach that best serves your narrative. By effectively setting the tone and style, you will create a captivating and immersive reading experience for your audience. 9. Crafting memorable endings. 9.1 Resolving the main conflict. Resolving the main conflict is a crucial aspect of storytelling. It is the moment when all the tension and buildup in the story reaches its peak and is finally released. This resolution brings closure to the narrative and provides a sense of satisfaction for the reader. In this section, we will explore the importance of resolving the main conflict effectively and discuss some techniques to achieve a memorable and impactful resolution. 9.1.1 The climax, the turning point of the story. The climax is the pivotal moment in the story where the main conflict reaches its peak. It is the most intense and dramatic point, where the protagonist faces their greatest challenge or makes a crucial decision. The climax is the culmination of all the events and conflicts that have been building throughout the story. To create a powerful climax, it is essential to raise the stakes and increase the tension. The conflict should become more intense, and the obstacles faced by the protagonist should seem insurmountable. This heightens the emotional impact and keeps the reader engaged. 9.1.2 Resolving the conflict, finding closure. After the climax, the story moves towards its resolution. This is the point where the conflict is resolved, and loose ends are tied up. The resolution should provide closure to the main conflict and answer any lingering questions or conflicts that have been introduced throughout the story. There are different ways to resolve the conflict, depending on the genre and tone of the story. In some cases, the protagonist may achieve their goal and overcome the obstacles they faced. In other cases, the resolution may involve a compromise or a bittersweet ending where the protagonist doesn't get exactly what they wanted but learns a valuable lesson. 9.1.3 The importance of emotional impact. A successful resolution not only provides closure but also leaves a lasting emotional impact on the reader. It should evoke a range of emotions, such as relief, satisfaction, or even sadness. The emotional impact of the resolution is what makes the story memorable and resonates with the reader long after they have finished reading. To create emotional impact, it is important to consider the emotional journey of the protagonist throughout the story. The resolution should reflect the growth and transformation the protagonist has undergone. It should also align with the themes and messages of the story, reinforcing the overall narrative arc. 9.1.4 Avoiding Deus Ex Machina. One pitfall to avoid when resolving the main conflict is the use of Deus Ex Machina, which refers to a sudden and unexpected resolution that comes out of nowhere. This can feel contrived and unsatisfying to the reader, as it undermines the tension and build-up that has been carefully crafted throughout the story. To avoid Deus Ex Machina, it is important to establish the groundwork for the resolution earlier in the story. Foreshadowing and setting up the necessary elements or clues can make the resolution feel organic and earned. This ensures that the resolution is a logical outcome of the events and conflicts that have been established. 9.1.5 Balancing resolution and openness. While it is important to provide closure to the main conflict, it is also valuable to leave room for interpretation and exploration. A completely tied-up ending may feel too neat and predictable, leaving the reader with no room for imagination or reflection. By leaving some aspects open-ended or ambiguous, the reader is encouraged to think and reflect on the story's themes and messages. This can create a deeper connection with the narrative and allow for personal interpretation. However, it is crucial to strike a balance between resolution and openness, ensuring that the reader feels satisfied while still being able to engage with the story on a deeper level. 9.1.6 The final sentence, leaving a lasting impression. The final sentence of a story holds immense power. It is the last impression the reader will have, and it can leave a lasting impact. The final sentence should encapsulate the essence of the story, leaving the reader with a sense of closure and reflection. Crafting the final sentence requires careful consideration of the story's themes and messages. It should resonate with the reader and leave them with a sense of satisfaction. Whether it is a thought-provoking statement, a poignant reflection, or a powerful image, the final sentence should leave the reader with a lasting impression. In conclusion, resolving the main conflict is a crucial aspect of storytelling. It provides closure to the narrative, evokes emotional impact, and leaves a lasting impression on the reader. By carefully crafting the climax, resolving the conflict effectively, and balancing resolution with openness, a writer can create a memorable and impactful ending to their story. 9.2 Creating closure and satisfaction. In storytelling, the ending of a story is just as important as the beginning. It is the culmination of all the events, conflicts, and character arcs that have been building throughout the narrative. The ending provides closure and satisfaction to the reader, tying up loose ends and leaving a lasting impression. In this section, we will explore the key elements of creating a memorable ending that leaves the reader feeling fulfilled. 9.2.1 Resolving the main conflict. One of the primary goals of the ending is to resolve the main conflict of the story. The conflict is the driving force behind the plot and the source of tension and suspense. It is essential to provide a satisfying resolution that brings closure to the conflict and answers the questions raised throughout the story. This resolution can take various forms depending on the genre and tone of the narrative. In some cases, the conflict may be resolved through a climactic confrontation between the protagonist and the antagonist. This confrontation can be physical, emotional, or intellectual, depending on the nature of the conflict. The resolution should feel earned and logical, staying true to the established rules and dynamics of the story world. However, not all stories require a dramatic showdown to resolve the conflict. In some cases, the resolution may come in the form of a realization or a change in perspective for the protagonist. This type of resolution is often seen in character-driven stories where the internal conflict takes precedence over external conflicts. The protagonist may undergo a personal transformation or make a difficult decision that leads to the resolution of the main conflict. 9.2.2 Creating closure and satisfaction for characters. In addition to resolving the main conflict, it is crucial to provide closure and satisfaction for the characters in the story. Readers become invested in the characters' journeys and want to see their arcs completed in a meaningful way. Each character should have their own resolution that aligns with their goals, motivations, and growth throughout the story. Closure for characters can come in various forms. It may involve achieving their goals, finding redemption, or experiencing personal growth. It is essential to tie up loose ends and provide a sense of resolution for each character's individual storylines. This can be done through their actions, dialogue, or inner reflections. However, it is important to strike a balance between providing closure and leaving room for the reader's imagination. While it is satisfying to see characters' stories come to a close, leaving some aspects open-ended can create a sense of intrigue and allow readers to continue thinking about the story long after they have finished reading. This leads us to the next point. 9.2.3 Leaving room for interpretation. A great ending leaves room for interpretation and invites readers to engage with the story on a deeper level. It allows them to draw their own conclusions and make connections between the events and themes presented throughout the narrative. By leaving some aspects open-ended, the ending becomes more thought-provoking and encourages readers to reflect on the story's meaning. Leaving room for interpretation can be achieved through ambiguity or symbolism. Ambiguous endings present multiple possibilities or outcomes, leaving the reader to decide what happens next. Symbolism can also be used to convey deeper meanings and themes, allowing readers to interpret the story in their own unique way. However, it is important to strike a balance between ambiguity and clarity. While leaving room for interpretation is valuable, it should not leave the reader feeling confused or unsatisfied. The ending should provide enough closure and resolution to satisfy the reader's expectations while still allowing for personal interpretation. 9.2.4 The importance of the final sentence. The final sentence of a story holds significant weight and can leave a lasting impression on the reader. It is the last opportunity to leave a powerful message or evoke a strong emotion. The final sentence should encapsulate the essence of the story, leaving the reader with a sense of satisfaction and resonance. A well-crafted final sentence can tie together the themes and motifs of the story, providing a sense of closure and leaving the reader with a lasting impression. It can also leave the reader with a sense of hope, reflection, or contemplation, depending on the tone and message of the story. The final sentence should be concise, impactful, and resonate with the reader long after they have finished reading. It should leave them thinking about the story and its implications, sparking further contemplation and discussion. In conclusion, creating closure and satisfaction in the ending of a story is crucial for providing a fulfilling reading experience. By resolving the main conflict, providing closure for characters, leaving room for interpretation, and crafting a powerful final sentence, authors can create an ending that leaves a lasting impact on the reader. The ending should tie up loose ends, answer questions, and provide a sense of resolution while still allowing for personal interpretation and reflection. 9.3 Leaving room for interpretation. In the art of storytelling, one of the most powerful techniques a writer can employ is leaving room for interpretation. By allowing readers to draw their own conclusions and make their own connections, you create a deeper and more engaging experience for them. Leaving room for interpretation not only adds depth to your story, but it also encourages readers to actively engage with your narrative and become more invested in the characters and themes you have presented. 9.3.1 The power of ambiguity. Ambiguity is a key element in leaving room for interpretation. By introducing ambiguity into your story, you create a sense of mystery and intrigue that keeps readers engaged and curious. Ambiguity can be achieved through various means, such as leaving certain details open-ended, presenting conflicting information, or using symbolism and metaphor. By not providing all the answers, you allow readers to fill in the gaps with their own imagination and understanding. Ambiguity can be particularly effective when it comes to character motivations and actions. By leaving some aspects of a character's behavior unexplained, you invite readers to speculate and analyze, creating a deeper connection between the reader and the character. This can lead to discussions and debates among readers, further enhancing their engagement with your story. 9.3.2 Symbolism and metaphor. Symbolism and metaphor are powerful tools for leaving room for interpretation. By using symbols and metaphors, you can convey deeper meanings and evoke emotions without explicitly stating them. This allows readers to interpret the symbols and metaphors in their own unique way, based on their personal experiences and perspectives. For example, a recurring symbol throughout your story could be a red rosé. While you may have a specific meaning in mind for the red rose, by not explicitly stating it, you allow readers to attach their own significance to it. One reader may interpret the red rose as a symbol of love and passion, while another may see it as a symbol of danger or forbidden desire. By leaving the interpretation open, you create a richer and more personal experience for each reader. Metaphors also provide a powerful way to leave room for interpretation. By comparing two seemingly unrelated things, you invite readers to make connections and draw their own conclusions. For example, describing a character's heart as a broken mirror can evoke a range of emotions and interpretations. Some readers may see it as a symbol of vulnerability and pain, while others may interpret it as a reflection of the character's fragmented identity. By using metaphors, you allow readers to engage with your story on a deeper level and make it their own. 9.3.3 Multiple perspectives. Another way to leave room for interpretation is by presenting multiple perspectives within your story. By offering different viewpoints and experiences, you allow readers to see the same events from different angles. This not only adds complexity to your narrative but also encourages readers to question their own assumptions and biases. By presenting conflicting perspectives, you challenge readers to consider different interpretations and make their own judgments. This can lead to a more nuanced understanding of your story and its themes. It also encourages readers to actively engage with the text, as they analyze and compare the different perspectives presented. 9.3.4 Open-ended endings. One of the most effective ways to leave room for interpretation is through open-ended endings. Instead of neatly tying up all loose ends, you can choose to leave some aspects of your story unresolved. This allows readers to imagine what might happen next or to reflect on the implications of the unresolved elements. Open-ended endings can be particularly powerful when it comes to character arcs and growth. By not providing a definitive conclusion to a character's journey, you allow readers to speculate on their future and imagine the possibilities. This can create a sense of hope, curiosity, or even frustration, depending on the reader's interpretation. Leaving room for interpretation in your story's ending also encourages readers to reflect on the themes and messages you have presented. By not explicitly stating the moral or lesson, you allow readers to draw their own conclusions and apply the story's meaning to their own lives. 9.3.5 Balancing clarity and ambiguity. While leaving room for interpretation is a powerful technique, it is important to strike a balance between clarity and ambiguity. Too much ambiguity can leave readers feeling confused or frustrated, while too much clarity can leave no room for imagination and personal interpretation. As a writer, it is essential to consider the intended effect of each element of ambiguity in your story. Ask yourself what you want readers to take away from the story and how much room for interpretation is necessary to achieve that effect. By carefully crafting the level of ambiguity, you can create a satisfying and thought-provoking experience for your readers. In conclusion, leaving room for interpretation is a skillful technique that adds depth and engagement to your storytelling. By introducing ambiguity, using symbolism and metaphor, presenting multiple perspectives, and crafting open-ended endings, you invite readers to actively participate in the narrative. This not only enhances their connection with your story but also allows them to find personal meaning and relevance in your words. 9.4 The importance of the final sentence. The final sentence of a story holds immense power. It is the last impression that lingers in the reader's mind long after they have finished reading. Just as the opening sentence sets the tone for the entire narrative, the final sentence leaves a lasting impact and shapes the overall experience for the reader. It is the culmination of the story, the moment where all loose ends are tied up, and the ultimate message or emotion is conveyed. 9.4.1 Crafting a memorable closing. Crafting a memorable closing sentence requires careful consideration and thought. It should encapsulate the essence of the story, leaving the reader with a sense of fulfillment and satisfaction. The final sentence should resonate with the themes and motifs explored throughout the narrative, providing a sense of closure while also leaving room for interpretation. 9.4.2 Evoking emotion and reflection. The final sentence has the power to evoke strong emotions in the reader. It can leave them feeling moved, inspired, or even contemplative. By carefully choosing the words and imagery in the closing sentence, an author can create a lasting emotional impact. Whether it is a poignant reflection on the journey of the characters or a thought-provoking statement that resonates with the reader's own experiences, the final sentence has the ability to leave a lasting impression. 9.4.3 Reinforcing the central message. The final sentence is an opportunity for the author to reinforce the central message or theme of the story. It can serve as a powerful reminder of the lessons learned or the transformation undergone by the characters. By tying together the various narrative threads and bringing them to a satisfying conclusion, the final sentence solidifies the overall meaning of the story. 9.4.4 Creating a sense of wholeness. A well-crafted final sentence can create a sense of wholeness and completeness in the reader's mind. It brings together all the elements of the story and provides a sense of resolution. It is the moment where the reader can take a deep breath and reflect on the journey they have just experienced. The final sentence should leave the reader with a sense of fulfillment, as if they have reached the end of a satisfying and meaningful narrative. 9.4.5 Leaving room for interpretation. While the final sentence should provide closure, it is also important to leave room for interpretation. A great ending allows the reader to reflect on the story and draw their own conclusions. It invites them to think beyond the confines of the narrative and consider the broader implications of the story's themes and messages. By leaving the final sentence open-ended or subtly ambiguous, the author encourages the reader to engage with the story on a deeper level. 9.4.6 The lasting impact. The final sentence of a story has the potential to stay with the reader long after they have finished reading. It becomes a part of their memory, forever associated with the story and its themes. A powerful closing sentence can leave a lasting impact, sparking conversations and discussions among readers. It is the mark of a truly memorable story when the final sentence continues to resonate and be remembered long after the book is closed. 9.4.7 Examples of memorable final sentences. Some of the most memorable final sentences in literature have become iconic and are often quoted or referenced. For example, in F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby, the closing sentence, "So we beat on, boats against the current, borne back ceaselessly into the past," encapsulates the themes of longing, the pursuit of the American dream, and the inevitability of the past shaping the present. In George Orwell's 1984, the final sentence, "He loved Big Brother," leaves the reader with a sense of despair and the crushing power of totalitarianism. It is a haunting ending that lingers in the mind long after the book is finished. These examples demonstrate the power of a well-crafted final sentence to leave a lasting impact and reinforce the central themes of the story. 9.4.8 Experimentation and revision. Crafting the perfect final sentence often requires experimentation and revision. It may take several attempts to find the right combination of words and imagery that truly captures the essence of the story. Authors should not be afraid to explore different options and seek feedback from beta readers or writing groups. By revising and refining the final sentence, authors can ensure that it has the desired impact and leaves a lasting impression on the reader. 9.4.9 Conclusion. The final sentence of a story is a crucial element that should not be overlooked. It has the power to evoke emotion, reinforce the central message, and leave a lasting impact on the reader. By crafting a memorable closing, authors can ensure that their stories resonate long after the final page is turned. 10. Using symbolism and themes. 10.1 Understanding symbolism in storytelling. Symbolism is a powerful tool that writers use to add depth and meaning to their stories. It involves the use of objects, actions, or characters to represent abstract ideas or concepts. By incorporating symbolism into their narratives, authors can convey complex emotions, themes, and messages in a subtle and thought-provoking manner. 10.1.1 The purpose of symbolism. Symbolism serves multiple purposes in storytelling. Firstly, it allows writers to convey ideas and themes that may be difficult to express directly. By using symbols, authors can tap into the reader's subconscious and evoke emotions and thoughts that go beyond the surface level of the story. Secondly, symbolism adds layers of meaning to a narrative, making it more engaging and thought-provoking. It encourages readers to delve deeper into the story, uncovering hidden connections and interpreting the symbols in their own unique ways. This not only enhances the reading experience but also fosters a sense of personal connection between the reader and the story. Lastly, symbolism can help create a cohesive and unified narrative. By using recurring symbols throughout the story, writers can establish a sense of continuity and reinforce the underlying themes and motifs. This creates a sense of harmony and coherence, making the story more satisfying and impactful. 10.1.2 Types of symbolism. Symbolism can take various forms in storytelling. Here are some common types of symbolism that writers employ. 10.1.2.1 Objects. Objects can be imbued with symbolic meaning, representing ideas or concepts beyond their literal function. For example, a red rose can symbolize love and passion, while a broken mirror can represent shattered self-image or reflection. 10.1.2.2 Colors. Colors are often used symbolically to evoke specific emotions or convey deeper meanings. For instance, the color white can symbolize purity or innocence, while black can represent darkness or evil. 10.1.2.3 Animals. Animals can be used symbolically to represent certain qualities or characteristics. For instance, a lion may symbolize courage and strength, while a dove can represent peace and harmony. 10.1.2.4 Nature. Nature itself can be a powerful symbol in storytelling. Elements such as trees, rivers, or storms can represent growth, change, or turmoil, respectively. The changing seasons can also symbolize the passage of time or the cycle of life. 10.1.2.5 Numbers. Numbers can carry symbolic significance in storytelling. For example, the number 3 is often associated with completeness or unity, while the number 7 can represent perfection or spirituality. 10.1.3 Using symbolism effectively. To use symbolism effectively in storytelling, writers must consider a few key factors. 10.1.3.1 Context. The meaning of a symbol can vary depending on the context in which it is used. Writers should ensure that the symbols they incorporate align with the overall themes and messages of their story. It is important to establish a clear connection between the symbol and its intended meaning to avoid confusion or misinterpretation. 10.1.3.2 Consistency. Consistency is crucial when using symbolism. If a symbol is introduced early in the story, it should maintain its meaning and significance throughout. Inconsistencies can disrupt the narrative flow and confuse readers. Therefore, writers should carefully plan and execute the use of symbols to ensure coherence and clarity. 10.1.3.3 Subtlety. Symbolism is most effective when it is subtle and integrated seamlessly into the narrative. Heavy-handed or overt symbolism can come across as forced or didactic, diminishing its impact. Writers should strive for a delicate balance, allowing readers to discover and interpret the symbols on their own. 10.1.3.4 Reader interpretation. One of the strengths of symbolism is its ability to evoke different interpretations from readers. Writers should embrace this ambiguity and allow readers to bring their own experiences and perspectives to the story. By leaving room for interpretation, symbolism can create a more engaging and personal reading experience. 10.1.4 Examples of symbolism in literature. Symbolism has been used extensively in literature throughout history. Here are a few notable examples. 10.1.4.1 The Green Light in The Great Gatsby, by F. Scott Fitzgerald. The green light at the end of Daisy's dock symbolizes Gatsby's hopes and dreams, as well as the elusive nature of the American dream. 10.1.4.2 The Mockingbird in To Kill a Mockingbird, by Harper Lee. The mockingbird represents innocence and the unjust persecution of the innocent, as seen through the character of Tom Robinson. 10.1.4.3 The Ring in The Lord of the Rings, by J.R.R. Tolkien. The ring symbolizes power and corruption, as well as the burden of responsibility that comes with it. 10.1.4.4 The Scarlet Letter in The Scarlet Letter, by Nathaniel Hawthorne. The Scarlet Letter, represents both sin and redemption, serving as a constant reminder of Hester Prynne's past transgressions. Symbolism is a powerful tool that can elevate the impact and depth of a story. By understanding and effectively utilizing symbolism, writers can create narratives that resonate with readers on a profound level, leaving a lasting impression and fostering a deeper appreciation for the art of storytelling. 10.2 Developing themes in your writing. Themes are the underlying messages or ideas that a story conveys. They provide depth and meaning to a narrative, allowing readers to connect with the story on a deeper level. Developing themes in your writing is an essential aspect of storytelling, as it helps create a cohesive and impactful narrative. In this section, we will explore the importance of themes, how to develop them effectively, and how to use them to enhance your storytelling. 10.2.1 Understanding the importance of themes. Themes serve as the backbone of a story, giving it purpose and resonance. They provide a central focus and guide the narrative's direction. Themes can be universal, exploring fundamental aspects of the human experience, or they can be specific to the story's context and characters. Regardless of their nature, themes help readers connect with the story emotionally and intellectually. Themes allow writers to explore complex ideas and issues within their narratives. They provide a platform to discuss topics such as love, loss, identity, power, justice, and many more. By delving into these themes, writers can engage readers in thought-provoking discussions and challenge their perspectives. Furthermore, themes help create a cohesive narrative by tying together various elements of the story. They provide a framework for character development, plot progression, and setting choices. Themes can also serve as a lens through which readers interpret the events and actions within the story, adding depth and complexity to the overall reading experience. 10.2.2 Identifying and developing themes. Developing themes requires a deep understanding of your story and its intended message. Here are some steps to help you identify and develop themes effectively. Reflect on your story's core message. Consider the central idea or message you want to convey through your narrative. This message will serve as the foundation for your themes. Analyze your characters. Examine your characters' motivations, conflicts, and growth throughout the story. Look for common threads or recurring ideas that emerge from their experiences. These can be potential themes to explore. Consider the plot. Analyze the events and conflicts within your story. Look for underlying patterns or ideas that emerge from these plot elements. These patterns can help you identify potential themes. Explore universal concepts. Consider universal concepts or emotions that resonate with readers across cultures and time. Love, fear, redemption, and the search for meaning are examples of universal themes that can add depth to your story. Brainstorm and refine. Once you have identified potential themes, brainstorm ways to develop and explore them within your narrative. Consider how different characters, settings, and plot elements can contribute to the development of these themes. Refine your ideas to ensure they align with your story's message and purpose. Weave themes throughout the narrative. Integrate your themes into various aspects of your story, including dialogue, character arcs, plot developments, and setting descriptions. Show how the themes impact your characters' choices and actions, and how they shape the overall narrative. Create depth and complexity. Avoid presenting themes in a simplistic or didactic manner. Instead, allow them to unfold naturally within the story, leaving room for interpretation and exploration. Use symbolism, subtext, and metaphor to add depth and complexity to your themes. 10.2.3 Using themes to enhance the narrative. Themes can significantly enhance the impact and resonance of your narrative. Here are some ways to effectively use themes in your storytelling. Creating emotional resonance. Themes can evoke powerful emotions in readers by tapping into universal experiences and struggles. By exploring themes such as love, loss, or betrayal, you can create a deep emotional connection between readers in your story. Driving character development. Themes can shape your characters' journeys and growth. By aligning their arcs with the themes you have developed, you can create compelling and relatable characters that resonate with readers. Building tension and conflict. Themes can create internal and external conflicts within your story. Conflicting themes can lead to moral dilemmas for your characters, adding depth and tension to the narrative. Providing social commentary. Themes can be used to comment on societal issues or explore complex moral questions. By incorporating themes related to power, justice, or inequality, you can engage readers in critical discussions and challenge their perspectives. Creating cohesion and unity. Themes provide a unifying thread that ties together various elements of your story. By weaving themes into the plot, setting, and character development, you create a cohesive and impactful narrative. Inviting reader interpretation. Themes can be open to interpretation, allowing readers to engage with your story on a personal level. By leaving room for different perspectives and viewpoints, you encourage readers to reflect on the themes and draw their own conclusions. Conclusion. Developing themes in your writing is a crucial aspect of storytelling. Themes provide depth, meaning, and resonance to your narrative, allowing readers to connect with your story on an emotional and intellectual level. By understanding the importance of themes, identifying and developing them effectively, and using them to enhance your storytelling, you can create a compelling and impactful narrative that resonates with readers long after they finish reading. 10.3 Using symbolism to enhance the narrative. Symbolism is a powerful tool that writers can use to enhance their narratives and add depth to their stories. By using symbols, authors can convey deeper meanings and evoke emotions in their readers. Symbolism allows writers to communicate complex ideas and themes in a more subtle and nuanced way, creating a richer and more engaging reading experience. 10.3.1 The power of symbols. Symbols are objects, actions, or characters that represent something beyond their literal meaning. They can be tangible or intangible, and they often carry cultural or universal significance. When used effectively, symbols can evoke emotions, create connections between different elements of the story, and provide layers of meaning that go beyond the surface level. Symbols can be found in various forms throughout literature. They can be recurring motifs, such as a specific color or object that appears repeatedly throughout the story. They can also be more subtle, like a character's name or a particular gesture that holds symbolic meaning. The possibilities for using symbols are endless, and it is up to the writer to choose the symbols that best serve their narrative. 10.3.2 Enhancing themes and messages. One of the main benefits of using symbolism in storytelling is its ability to enhance themes and messages. By associating a symbol with a particular theme, writers can reinforce and emphasize their intended meaning. For example, a recurring symbol of a bird in a story about freedom can reinforce the theme of liberation and the desire for escape. Symbols can also add depth to characters and their development. By assigning symbolic meaning to certain objects or actions associated with a character, writers can provide insight into their motivations, desires, or inner conflicts. For instance, a character who always wears a mask may symbolize their hidden identity or their struggle to reveal their true self. 10.3.3 Creating emotional impact. Symbols have the power to evoke strong emotions in readers. By tapping into universal or cultural associations, symbols can resonate with readers on a deeper level, eliciting emotional responses that enhance the narrative experience. For example, the symbol of a rose can evoke feelings of love, beauty, or even loss, depending on the context in which it is used. Symbols can also create a sense of anticipation or suspense. When a symbol is introduced early in the story and its meaning is gradually revealed, readers become invested in understanding its significance. This can create a sense of mystery and intrigue, keeping readers engaged and eager to uncover the symbol's meaning. 10.3.4 Foreshadowing and subtext. Symbols can be used as a form of foreshadowing, hinting at future events or outcomes in the story. By introducing a symbol early on and associating it with a particular event or outcome, writers can subtly prepare readers for what is to come. This adds a layer of anticipation and suspense, as readers try to decipher the meaning behind the symbol and its connection to the unfolding narrative. Symbols can also be used to convey subtext and hidden meanings. By using symbols to represent abstract concepts or emotions, writers can communicate ideas that may be difficult to express directly. This allows for a more nuanced exploration of complex themes and adds depth to the narrative. 10.3.5 Balancing clarity and ambiguity. When using symbolism, it is important to strike a balance between clarity and ambiguity. While symbols can add depth and complexity to a story, they should not be so obscure or confusing that they alienate readers. It is essential to ensure that the symbolism is clear enough for readers to understand its intended meaning, while still leaving room for interpretation and personal reflection. To achieve this balance, writers can provide context and clues that help readers decipher the symbolism. This can be done through descriptive language, character actions, or even dialogue. By providing enough information, writers can guide readers towards the intended interpretation while still allowing for individual perspectives and insights. 10.3.6 Examples of symbolism in literature. Many classic and contemporary works of literature employ symbolism to enhance their narratives. One famous example is the green light in F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby. The green light represents Gatsby's hopes and dreams, as well as the unattainable nature of the American dream. Another example is the white whale in Herman Melville's Moby Dick. The white whale symbolizes the destructive power of obsession and the futility of man's quest for revenge. Its presence throughout the story adds a layer of depth and complexity to the narrative. In J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings, the One Ring symbolizes the corrupting influence of power. Its allure and the character's struggle to resist its temptation serve as a central theme throughout the trilogy. These examples demonstrate how symbolism can be used to enhance the narrative, convey deeper meanings, and engage readers on an emotional and intellectual level. Conclusion. Symbolism is a powerful tool that writers can use to enhance their narratives. By using symbols, authors can convey deeper meanings, evoke emotions, and add layers of complexity to their stories. Symbols can enhance themes and messages, create emotional impact, and provide foreshadowing and subtext. However, it is important to strike a balance between clarity and ambiguity to ensure that readers can understand the intended meaning while still allowing for personal interpretation. By incorporating symbolism effectively, writers can create a more engaging and memorable reading experience for their audience. 10.4 Exploring universal themes. In the world of storytelling, universal themes are the threads that connect us all. These themes are the underlying messages and ideas that resonate with readers on a deep and emotional level. They transcend cultural boundaries and speak to the human experience as a whole. Exploring universal themes in your writing can add depth and meaning to your story, allowing readers to connect with your characters and their journeys on a profound level. 10.4.1 The power of universal themes. Universal themes are timeless and enduring because they tap into fundamental aspects of the human condition. They explore the universal struggles, desires, and emotions that we all experience, regardless of our background or culture. By incorporating these themes into your storytelling, you can create a narrative that resonates with a wide range of readers. One of the most powerful aspects of universal themes is their ability to evoke empathy and understanding. When readers encounter characters facing similar challenges or grappling with familiar emotions, they can relate to their experiences and see themselves reflected in the story. This connection allows readers to gain insights into their own lives and find solace or inspiration in the characters' journeys. 10.4.2 Identifying universal themes. To explore universal themes in your writing, it is essential to identify the core ideas and messages you want to convey. These themes can be broad concepts such as love, loss, redemption, or the search for identity. They can also be more specific, such as the importance of family, the struggle for justice, or the pursuit of dreams. To identify universal themes, consider the central conflicts and struggles your characters face. What are the underlying emotions and desires driving their actions? What larger questions or issues do these conflicts raise? By delving into the deeper layers of your story, you can uncover the universal themes that resonate with your characters' journeys. 10.4.3 Incorporating universal themes into your story. Once you have identified the universal themes you want to explore, it is crucial to weave them seamlessly into your narrative. Here are some techniques to consider. 10.4.3.1 Character development. Develop your characters in a way that allows them to embody and explore the universal themes you want to convey. Show how their experiences, choices, and relationships are shaped by these themes. By making the themes an integral part of your character's development, you can create a more authentic and resonant story. 10.4.3.2 Plot and conflict. Craft your plot and conflicts in a way that highlights and challenges the universal themes you want to explore. Use the conflicts your characters face as opportunities to delve deeper into these themes and examine different perspectives. This will add layers of complexity and richness to your story. 10.4.3.3 Symbolism and imagery. Utilize symbolism and imagery to reinforce and enhance the universal themes in your story. Symbolic objects, settings, or actions can serve as powerful metaphors that evoke emotions and convey deeper meanings. By carefully selecting and incorporating these elements, you can create a more profound and resonant narrative. 10.4.3.4 Dialogue and Subtext. Use dialogue and subtext to explore the universal themes in your story. Allow your characters to engage in conversations that delve into the deeper questions and issues raised by these themes. Subtext, the underlying meanings and emotions beneath the surface of the dialogue, can add layers of complexity and depth to your storytelling. 10.4.4 Examples of universal themes. Universal themes can take many forms and can be explored in various genres and styles of writing. Here are a few examples of universal themes. 10.4.4.1 Love and relationships. Love and relationships are universal themes that explore the complexities of human connection. Whether it's romantic love, familial bonds, or friendships, these themes delve into the joys, challenges, and sacrifices we make for the people we care about. 10.4.4.2 Identity and self-discovery. The search for identity and self-discovery is a universal theme that explores the journey of self-exploration and understanding. It delves into questions of who we are, where we come from, and what defines us as individuals. 10.4.4.3 Loss and grief. Loss and grief are universal themes that explore the profound emotions and challenges that come with losing someone or something dear to us. These themes delve into the process of mourning, healing, and finding meaning in the face of loss. 10.4.4.4 Power and corruption. Power and corruption are universal themes that explore the dynamics of power and its impact on individuals and society. These themes delve into questions of morality, ethics, and the abuse of power. 10.4.4.5 Redemption and forgiveness. Redemption and forgiveness are universal themes that explore the possibility of growth, transformation, and second chances. These themes delve into the complexities of forgiveness, both for oneself and others, and the potential for redemption and healing. 10.4.5 Conclusion. Exploring universal themes in your storytelling can elevate your narrative and create a deeper connection with your readers. By tapping into the fundamental aspects of the human experience, you can create stories that resonate on a profound level. Remember to identify the universal themes you want to explore, incorporate them seamlessly into your story, and use techniques such as character development, plot, symbolism, and dialogue to bring these themes to life. By doing so, you can create a narrative that leaves a lasting impact on your readers. 11. Editing and revising your story. 11.1 The importance of editing. Editing is an essential part of the writing process that cannot be overlooked. It is the stage where you refine and polish your story, ensuring that it is clear, coherent, and engaging for your readers. While writing may be the creative and imaginative part of storytelling, editing is where the magic happens. It is through the editing process that you transform your rough draft into a polished masterpiece. 11.1.1 The purpose of editing. The primary purpose of editing is to improve the overall quality of your writing. It involves reviewing and revising your work to eliminate errors, improve clarity, and enhance the flow of your narrative. Editing allows you to fine-tune your story, ensuring that it resonates with your readers and effectively conveys your intended message. 11.1.2 Identifying and correcting errors. One of the main tasks of editing is to identify and correct errors in grammar, punctuation, spelling, and syntax. These errors can detract from the readability and professionalism of your writing. By carefully reviewing your work, you can catch and rectify these mistakes, ensuring that your story is free from distracting errors that could undermine your credibility as a writer. 11.1.3 Improving clarity and coherence. Editing also involves improving the clarity and coherence of your narrative. This includes ensuring that your ideas are presented in a logical and organized manner, with smooth transitions between paragraphs and sections. By reviewing your work, you can identify any areas where the flow of your story may be disrupted or where the meaning may be unclear. Through careful editing, you can restructure sentences, reword passages, and add or remove information to enhance the overall clarity and coherence of your writing. 11.1.4 Enhancing the storytelling experience. Editing plays a crucial role in enhancing the storytelling experience for your readers. By carefully reviewing your work, you can identify areas where the pacing may be too slow or too fast, where the dialogue may be unrealistic, or where the descriptions may be lacking. Through editing, you can refine these elements, ensuring that your story captivates and engages your readers from beginning to end. 11.1.5 Consistency and continuity. Another important aspect of editing is maintaining consistency and continuity throughout your story. This involves ensuring that the details, characters, and events in your narrative remain consistent and coherent. By carefully reviewing your work, you can identify any discrepancies or contradictions and make the necessary revisions to maintain a seamless and believable story. 11.1.6 Polishing the language. Editing also allows you to polish the language of your writing. This includes refining your choice of words, eliminating unnecessary repetition, and enhancing the overall style and tone of your narrative. By carefully reviewing your work, you can identify areas where the language may be weak or where the writing may lack impact. Through editing, you can strengthen your prose, making it more engaging and compelling for your readers. 11.1.7 Seeking objectivity. Editing requires a certain level of objectivity. As the writer, you may be too close to your work to see its flaws or weaknesses. By taking a step back and approaching your writing with a critical eye, you can identify areas that may need improvement and make the necessary revisions. Seeking objectivity through editing allows you to view your story from the perspective of your readers, ensuring that it resonates with them on a deeper level. 11.1.8 The iterative process of editing. Editing is not a one-time task but rather an iterative process. It involves multiple rounds of reviewing, revising, and refining your work. Each round of editing allows you to delve deeper into your story, addressing different aspects such as structure, character development, dialogue, and language. By going through multiple rounds of editing, you can gradually shape your story into its best possible version. 11.1.9 The importance of professional editing. While self-editing is an essential part of the writing process, it is also crucial to seek professional editing assistance. Professional editors bring a fresh perspective and expertise to your work, helping you identify blind spots and providing valuable feedback. They can offer insights into the overall structure, pacing, and character development of your story, ensuring that it reaches its full potential. Investing in professional editing can significantly enhance the quality of your writing and increase its chances of success. In conclusion, editing is a vital step in the storytelling process. It allows you to refine and polish your work, ensuring that it is clear, coherent, and engaging for your readers. Through editing, you can identify and correct errors, improve clarity and coherence, enhance the storytelling experience, maintain consistency and continuity, polish the language, seek objectivity, and ultimately shape your story into its best possible version. Embrace the editing process as an opportunity to elevate your writing and create a compelling narrative that resonates with your readers. 11.2 Self-editing techniques. Once you have completed the initial draft of your story, the next step is to revise and edit it. Self-editing is an essential part of the writing process that allows you to refine your work, improve clarity, coherence, and ensure that your story is the best it can be. In this section, we will explore some self-editing techniques that can help you polish your story and make it shine. 11.2.1 Take a break. Before you begin the self-editing process, it is crucial to take a break from your story. This break allows you to gain some distance from your work and approach it with fresh eyes. Stepping away from your story for a few days or even weeks can help you see it from a new perspective and identify areas that need improvement. 11.2.2 Read aloud. One effective self-editing technique is to read your story aloud. Reading aloud helps you identify awkward sentence structures, repetitive phrases, and inconsistencies in your writing. It also allows you to hear the flow and rhythm of your words, making it easier to spot areas that need revision. As you read, pay attention to the pacing, dialogue, and overall coherence of your story. 11.2.3 Check for consistency. Consistency is crucial in storytelling. As you self-edit, pay close attention to the consistency of your characters, settings, and plot. Ensure that your characters' actions and motivations remain consistent throughout the story. Check that the timeline and events align logically and that there are no plot holes or contradictions. Consistency helps create a believable and immersive reading experience for your audience. 11.2.4 Trim the fat. During the self-editing process, it is essential to trim unnecessary or repetitive sections from your story. Look for paragraphs or sentences that do not contribute to the overall plot or character development. Be ruthless in cutting out anything that does not serve a purpose in advancing the story. This will help tighten your narrative and keep your readers engaged. 11.2.5 Strengthen your prose. Another aspect of self-editing is to strengthen your prose. Look for opportunities to enhance your writing by using vivid and descriptive language. Replace weak or generic words with more specific and evocative ones. Pay attention to sentence structure and vary it to create a more engaging reading experience. Eliminate unnecessary adverbs and adjectives that can weigh down your prose. 11.2.6 Check for grammar and punctuation errors. While self-editing, it is crucial to check for grammar and punctuation errors. Look for typos, misspellings, and incorrect verb tenses. Ensure that your punctuation is accurate and consistent throughout the story. Pay attention to common mistakes such as subject-verb agreement, comma splices, and run-on sentences. Correcting these errors will improve the readability and professionalism of your writing. 11.2.7 Evaluate dialogue. Dialogue is an essential element of storytelling, and during the self-editing process, it is crucial to evaluate your dialogue. Ensure that your character's speech sounds natural and authentic. Check for excessive or unnecessary dialogue tags and replace them with action beats or gestures where appropriate. Look for opportunities to add subtext and hidden meanings to your dialogue, making it more engaging and layered. 11.2.8 Seek feedback. While self-editing is an important step, it is also beneficial to seek feedback from others. Share your story with trusted friends, writing groups, or beta readers and ask for their honest opinions. Their fresh perspective can help you identify areas that may need improvement or clarification. Consider their feedback carefully and make revisions accordingly. 11.2.9 Read as a reader. As you self-edit, try to read your story as a reader rather than as the author. Put yourself in the shoes of your audience and consider how they might experience your story. Pay attention to pacing, suspense, and emotional impact. Look for moments that may evoke strong emotions or surprise your readers. Reading as a reader allows you to assess the overall effectiveness of your storytelling. 11.2.10 Edit in layers. To make the self-editing process more manageable, consider editing your story in layers. Start with the big picture elements such as plot, character development, and pacing. Once you are satisfied with these aspects, move on to smaller details such as sentence structure, grammar, and punctuation. Editing in layers allows you to focus on specific aspects of your story without feeling overwhelmed. By employing these self-editing techniques, you can refine your story, improve its readability, and ensure that it resonates with your readers. Remember that self-editing is an iterative process, and it may take several rounds of revisions to achieve the desired result. Embrace the editing process as an opportunity to strengthen your storytelling skills and create a compelling narrative. 11.3 Seeking feedback and critique. Once you have completed the initial draft of your story, it is crucial to seek feedback and critique from others. While it can be intimidating to share your work with others, receiving constructive criticism is an essential part of the writing process. Feedback helps you identify areas of improvement, gain new perspectives, and refine your story to make it the best it can be. 11.3.1 Choosing the right critics. When seeking feedback, it is important to choose the right critics. Look for individuals who are knowledgeable about storytelling and have experience in providing constructive criticism. This could include fellow writers, writing groups, or even professional editors. It is also helpful to find people who are part of your target audience, as they can provide valuable insights into how your story resonates with readers. 11.3.2 Providing clear guidelines. When sharing your work for feedback, it is essential to provide clear guidelines to your critics. Let them know what specific aspects of the story you would like them to focus on, such as character development, plot structure, or pacing. By giving them specific areas to critique, you can ensure that you receive feedback that is relevant to your goals as a writer. 11.3.3 Receiving constructive criticism. When receiving feedback, it is important to approach it with an open mind and a willingness to learn and grow as a writer. Remember that the purpose of critique is to help you improve your story, not to tear it down. Be prepared to receive both positive feedback and areas for improvement. Take the time to listen to the perspectives of others and consider their suggestions with an objective mindset. 11.3.4 Evaluating feedback. Not all feedback will be equally valuable or applicable to your story. It is essential to evaluate the feedback you receive and determine which suggestions align with your vision for the story. Consider the source of the feedback, the reasoning behind the suggestions, and how it aligns with your writing style and intentions. Use your judgment to decide which changes to incorporate and which to disregard. 11.3.5 Balancing feedback with your vision. While feedback is valuable, it is important to remember that ultimately, you are the author of your story. You have the final say in how your narrative unfolds. Use feedback as a tool to enhance your storytelling, but also trust your instincts and stay true to your creative vision. It is essential to strike a balance between incorporating feedback and maintaining the integrity of your story. 11.3.6 Seeking multiple perspectives. To gain a well-rounded understanding of your story's strengths and weaknesses, it is beneficial to seek feedback from multiple sources. Different readers will bring unique perspectives and insights to your work. By gathering feedback from a diverse group of individuals, you can identify patterns and common areas for improvement. This will help you make informed decisions about revisions and improvements to your story. 11.3.7 Revising and iterating. Once you have received feedback and evaluated its merits, it is time to revise your story. Take the suggestions that resonate with you and incorporate them into your work. This may involve rewriting certain scenes, reworking character arcs, or restructuring the plot. Remember that the revision process is iterative, and it may take several rounds of feedback and revision to achieve the desired outcome. 11.3.8 Building a supportive writing community. In addition to seeking feedback on your own work, it is beneficial to become part of a supportive writing community. Join writing groups, attend workshops or conferences, and connect with other writers who share your passion for storytelling. Engaging with fellow writers can provide ongoing support, encouragement, and opportunities for collaboration. It also allows you to give back by providing feedback and critique to others. 11.3.9 The importance of patience and perseverance. Receiving feedback and revising your story can be a time-consuming and sometimes challenging process. It requires patience and perseverance to navigate through the feedback, make revisions, and continue refining your work. Remember that writing is a journey, and each step, including seeking feedback, is an opportunity for growth and improvement. Stay committed to your craft and trust in the process. 11.3.10 Conclusion. Seeking feedback and critique is an integral part of the writing process. By opening yourself up to the perspectives of others, you can gain valuable insights and refine your story to make it the best it can be. Remember to choose the right critics, provide clear guidelines, receive constructive criticism with an open mind, evaluate feedback, and balance it with your creative vision. Seek multiple perspectives, revise and iterate, and build a supportive writing community. With patience and perseverance, you can create a compelling narrative that resonates with readers. 11.4 Revising for clarity and coherence. Once you have completed the initial draft of your story, the next step is to revise it for clarity and coherence. Revising is an essential part of the writing process as it allows you to refine your ideas, improve the flow of your narrative, and ensure that your story is easy for readers to follow and understand. In this section, we will explore some strategies and techniques to help you revise your story effectively. 11.4.1 Reviewing the structure. One of the first things to consider when revising for clarity and coherence is the overall structure of your story. Take a step back and evaluate how your plot unfolds, how your characters develop, and how your themes are explored. Ask yourself if the sequence of events makes sense, if there are any gaps or inconsistencies, and if the pacing is appropriate. Consider the beginning, middle, and end of your story. Does the opening effectively hook the reader and set the stage for the main conflict? Does the middle section build tension and keep the reader engaged? Does the ending provide a satisfying resolution to the main conflict while leaving room for interpretation? Pay attention to the transitions between scenes and chapters. Are they smooth and logical, or do they feel abrupt and disjointed? Make sure that each scene and chapter flows naturally into the next, creating a cohesive and seamless reading experience. 11.4.2 Streamlining the narrative. During the revision process, it is important to streamline your narrative to eliminate any unnecessary or confusing elements. Look for sections or paragraphs that do not contribute to the overall story or that disrupt the flow of the narrative. Consider whether certain scenes or descriptions can be condensed or removed without compromising the story's integrity. Pay attention to the pacing of your story. Are there any sections that feel too slow or drag on for too long? Conversely, are there any moments that feel rushed or underdeveloped? Adjust the pacing by adding or removing details, expanding or condensing scenes, and ensuring that the story moves at a pace that keeps the reader engaged. Consider the use of flashbacks, dream sequences, or other nonlinear narrative techniques. While these can be effective storytelling tools, they can also confuse readers if not used carefully. Make sure that any nonlinear elements are clearly signaled and serve a purpose in advancing the plot or deepening the understanding of the characters. 11.4.3 Enhancing clarity in dialogue. Dialogue is an essential component of storytelling, and revising it for clarity is crucial. Read through your dialogue scenes and ensure that the conversations are natural and easy to follow. Each character's speech should be distinct and reflect their personality, background, and motivations. Pay attention to the use of dialogue tags and punctuation. Make sure that it is clear who is speaking at all times, and use tags sparingly to avoid repetitive or distracting phrases. Use punctuation marks such as commas, periods, and quotation marks correctly to indicate speech and enhance clarity. Consider the subtext and hidden meanings in your dialogue. While it is important to leave room for interpretation, make sure that the underlying messages and intentions are clear to the reader. Avoid overly cryptic or ambiguous dialogue that may confuse or frustrate readers. 11.4.4 Ensuring consistency and coherence. Consistency and coherence are essential for creating a seamless reading experience. During the revision process, pay attention to the following aspects to ensure that your story remains coherent. Character consistency. Make sure that your characters' actions, motivations, and personalities remain consistent throughout the story. Avoid sudden changes in behavior or unexplained shifts in their beliefs or values. Plot consistency. Check for any plot holes or inconsistencies in the sequence of events. Ensure that cause and effect relationships are clear and logical. Tie up any loose ends and resolve any unanswered questions. Tone and style consistency. Maintain a consistent tone and style throughout your story. If you switch between different narrative voices or writing styles, make sure that the transitions are smooth and intentional. Setting consistency. Ensure that the details of your setting remain consistent throughout the story. Avoid contradictions or sudden changes in the physical or cultural aspects of your world. Theme consistency. If you are exploring specific themes in your story, make sure that they are consistently developed and explored. Avoid introducing new themes or abandoning existing ones without proper resolution. Conclusion. Revising for clarity and coherence is an essential step in the writing process. By reviewing the structure, streamlining the narrative, enhancing clarity in dialogue, and ensuring consistency and coherence, you can refine your story and create a compelling and engaging reading experience for your audience. Take the time to revise your work thoroughly, and remember that the revision process is an opportunity to polish your story and make it the best it can be. 12. Publishing and sharing your story. 12.1 Traditional publishing versus self-publishing. When it comes to publishing your story, you have two main options: traditional publishing and self-publishing. Each method has its own advantages and considerations, and it's important to understand the differences between the two before making a decision. 12.1.1 Traditional publishing. Traditional publishing refers to the process of submitting your manuscript to a publishing house or literary agent, who will then review and potentially accept your work for publication. If your manuscript is accepted, the publishing house will handle the editing, design, printing, distribution, and marketing of your book. One of the main advantages of traditional publishing is the validation and credibility it brings. Being published by a reputable publishing house can lend legitimacy to your work and help you gain recognition as an author. Additionally, traditional publishers often have established relationships with booksellers and can help get your book into physical stores. Another benefit of traditional publishing is the support and expertise provided by the publishing house. They have experienced professionals who can guide you through the editing and revision process, ensuring that your book is of the highest quality. They also have access to professional cover designers, formatters, and marketing teams who can help make your book more appealing to readers. However, traditional publishing also has its challenges. The process can be lengthy and competitive, with many manuscripts being rejected before finding a publisher. It can take months or even years to secure a publishing deal, and even then, there is no guarantee of success. Additionally, traditional publishers often retain a significant portion of the royalties from book sales, leaving authors with a smaller share of the profits. 12.1.2 Self-publishing. Self-publishing, on the other hand, allows authors to take control of the entire publishing process themselves. With self-publishing, authors have the freedom to publish their work without the need for a traditional publishing house or literary agent. They can choose to publish their book in both digital and print formats, and have complete control over the design, pricing, and distribution. One of the main advantages of self-publishing is the speed and flexibility it offers. Authors can publish their work quickly, without having to wait for acceptance from a traditional publisher. This allows for more immediate gratification and the ability to get your story out into the world on your own terms. Additionally, self-published authors have the freedom to experiment with different genres, styles, and formats without the constraints of traditional publishing guidelines. Another benefit of self-publishing is the potential for higher royalties. Since self-published authors retain full control over their work, they also receive a larger share of the profits from book sales. This can be especially beneficial for authors who are able to effectively market and promote their books to a wide audience. However, self-publishing also comes with its own set of challenges. Without the support and resources of a traditional publishing house, authors are responsible for all aspects of the publishing process, including editing, cover design, formatting, and marketing. This can be time-consuming and requires a certain level of technical skills or the willingness to hire professionals to assist with these tasks. Additionally, self-published authors may face difficulties in gaining recognition and reaching a wide audience. Without the backing of a traditional publisher, it can be harder to get your book into physical bookstores or receive reviews from established literary critics. However, with the rise of online platforms such as Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing and Smashwords, self-published authors now have more opportunities to reach readers worldwide. 12.1.3 Choosing the right path. Deciding between traditional publishing and self-publishing ultimately depends on your goals, preferences, and resources. Traditional publishing offers the validation, support, and wider distribution channels that can help launch your writing career, but it also comes with a longer process and potentially lower royalties. Self-publishing, on the other hand, provides more control, faster publication, and potentially higher royalties, but requires more effort and responsibility on the author's part. It's important to carefully consider your options and do thorough research before making a decision. Take the time to understand the publishing industry, study successful authors in your genre, and weigh the pros and cons of each path. You may also consider hybrid publishing, which combines elements of both traditional and self-publishing. Remember, there is no one-size-fits-all approach to publishing. What works for one author may not work for another. Ultimately, the most important thing is to believe in your story and find the publishing path that aligns with your goals and values as an author. 12.2 Preparing your manuscript for submission. Once you have finished writing your story, the next step is to prepare your manuscript for submission. This is an important process that involves getting your work in the best possible shape before sending it out to publishers or literary agents. In this section, we will discuss the key steps you need to take to ensure your manuscript is ready for submission. 12.2.1 Editing and proofreading. Before you submit your manuscript, it is crucial to edit and proofread it thoroughly. This involves checking for grammatical errors, spelling mistakes, and inconsistencies in the plot, characters, and dialogue. Editing is a process that requires careful attention to detail, and it is recommended to go through multiple rounds of editing to ensure your manuscript is polished and error-free. Start by reading through your manuscript from beginning to end, focusing on the overall flow and structure of the story. Look for any plot holes, inconsistencies, or areas that need further development. Pay attention to the pacing of the story and make sure it keeps the reader engaged throughout. Take note of any repetitive or unnecessary scenes that can be removed or condensed. After addressing the larger issues, move on to line editing, where you focus on the sentence-level details. Check for grammar, punctuation, and spelling errors. Ensure that your sentences are clear and concise, and that your dialogue is authentic and natural. Pay attention to the use of descriptive language and make sure it enhances the reader's understanding of the story. Proofreading is the final step in the editing process. It involves carefully reviewing your manuscript for any remaining errors or typos. It is recommended to have someone else proofread your work as well, as fresh eyes can often catch mistakes that you may have missed. 12.2.2 Formatting Guidelines. Each publisher or literary agent may have specific formatting guidelines for manuscript submissions. It is important to familiarize yourself with these guidelines and follow them closely. Common formatting requirements include using a standard font, such as Times New Roman or Arial, in 12-point size, double spacing the text, and using 1-inch margins. Additionally, you should include a title page that lists the title of your manuscript, your name, and contact information. Number the pages consecutively and include a header or footer with your last name and the title of your work. It is also a good idea to include a table of contents if your manuscript has multiple chapters. 12.2.3 Writing a query letter. In addition to your manuscript, you will often be required to submit a query letter when seeking traditional publishing. A query letter is a brief introduction to your story and yourself as an author. It is your opportunity to grab the attention of literary agents or publishers and convince them to read your manuscript. When writing a query letter, keep it concise and engaging. Start with a strong hook that captures the essence of your story and entices the reader to want to know more. Include a brief summary of your story, highlighting its unique aspects and what makes it stand out. Mention any relevant writing credentials or previous publications, if applicable. It is important to research each literary agent or publisher you are submitting to and personalize your query letter accordingly. Address the recipient by name and mention why you believe your manuscript would be a good fit for their agency or publishing house. Always follow the submission guidelines provided by each agent or publisher, as they may have specific requirements for query letters. 12.2.4 Creating a synopsis. In addition to the query letter, some publishers or literary agents may require a synopsis of your story. A synopsis is a brief summary that outlines the main plot points, character arcs, and the resolution of your story. It should provide a clear overview of your story without giving away all the details or spoiling the ending. When writing a synopsis, focus on the main plot and the key events that drive the story forward. Include the main characters and their motivations, as well as any major conflicts or obstacles they face. Keep the synopsis concise and to the point, typically ranging from 1 to 3 pages in length. 12.2.5 Researching publishers and literary agents. Before submitting your manuscript, it is important to research potential publishers and literary agents who may be a good fit for your work. Look for publishers or agents who specialize in your genre or have a track record of publishing similar stories. Read their submission guidelines carefully and ensure that your manuscript meets their requirements. Consider attending writing conferences or workshops where you can meet agents and publishers in person. This can be a valuable opportunity to network and learn more about the publishing industry. Additionally, join writing communities and forums where you can connect with other authors and gain insights into the publishing process. 12.2.6 Keeping track of submissions. As you start submitting your manuscript to publishers or literary agents, it is important to keep track of your submissions. Create a spreadsheet or use a submission tracking tool to record the names of the publishers or agents you have submitted to, the date of submission, and any response or feedback you receive. Tracking your submissions will help you stay organized and ensure that you follow up on any outstanding queries. It will also give you a clear overview of your progress and help you identify any patterns or trends in the responses you receive. 12.2.7 Patience and perseverance. The publishing process can be lengthy and challenging, and it is important to be patient and persevere. Rejections are a common part of the journey, and it is essential not to get discouraged. Use any feedback you receive to improve your manuscript and continue submitting to other publishers or agents. Remember that every successful author has faced rejection at some point, and it is often a matter of finding the right fit for your work. Stay committed to your writing and believe in the value of your story. With persistence and dedication, you can increase your chances of finding a publisher who shares your passion for storytelling. Conclusion. Preparing your manuscript for submission is a crucial step in the publishing process. By editing and proofreading your work, following formatting guidelines, and crafting a compelling query letter and synopsis, you can increase your chances of capturing the attention of publishers and literary agents. Remember to research potential publishers and agents, keep track of your submissions, and remain patient and perseverant throughout the journey. Good luck on your publishing endeavors. 12.3 Building an author platform. In today's digital age, building an author platform is essential for any writer looking to share their work with a wider audience. An author platform refers to the online presence and visibility that an author creates to connect with readers, promote their books, and establish themselves as a reputable writer. Building an author platform not only helps in marketing and promoting your book but also allows you to engage with your readers, build a community, and establish your brand as an author. 12.3.1 Creating an author website. One of the first steps in building an author platform is creating a professional and engaging author website. Your website will serve as a central hub for your online presence and provide a platform for readers to learn more about you and your work. When designing your website, consider the following elements. About the author. Include a well-written biography that highlights your writing experience, achievements, and any relevant personal information that will help readers connect with you on a deeper level. Book information. Create a dedicated page for each of your books, providing a synopsis, reviews, and links to purchase them. This will make it easier for readers to find and learn more about your work. Blog or news section. Regularly update your website with blog posts or news articles related to your writing journey, book updates, or any other topics that may interest your readers. This will not only keep your website fresh and engaging but also help in driving traffic to your site. Contact information. Make it easy for readers, publishers, or media outlets to get in touch with you by including a contact page with your email address or a contact form. 12.3.2 Social media presence. In addition to having an author website, establishing a strong presence on social media platforms is crucial for building an author platform. Social media allows you to connect directly with your readers, engage in conversations, and share updates about your writing journey and book releases. Here are some tips for effectively using social media. Choose the right platforms. Identify the social media platforms that are most popular among your target audience and focus your efforts on those platforms. Common platforms for authors include Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Goodreads. Consistency is key. Regularly post content on your social media accounts to keep your followers engaged. This can include updates about your writing progress, book recommendations, behind-the-scenes insights, or even personal anecdotes. Aim for a balance between promotional and personal content. Engage with your audience. Respond to comments, messages, and mentions from your followers. Engaging with your audience shows that you value their support and helps in building a loyal fan base. Collaborate with other authors. Collaborating with other authors through guest blog posts, joint giveaways, or social media takeovers can help expand your reach and introduce your work to new readers. 12.3.3 Blogging and guest posting. Blogging is an effective way to showcase your writing skills, share your expertise, and attract readers to your website. By regularly publishing high-quality blog posts, you can establish yourself as an authority in your genre and build a loyal readership. Consider the following tips for successful blogging. Choose relevant topics. Write blog posts that are relevant to your target audience and align with your writing niche. This will attract readers who are interested in your genre and increase the chances of them becoming fans of your work. Optimize for SEO. Research and incorporate relevant keywords into your blog posts to improve their visibility in search engine results. This will help drive organic traffic to your website. Guest posting. Reach out to other bloggers or websites in your niche and offer to write guest posts. Guest posting allows you to tap into an existing audience and gain exposure to new readers who may be interested in your work. 12.3.4 Email marketing. Building an email list is a valuable asset for any author. By collecting email addresses from interested readers, you can directly communicate with them, share updates about your books, and promote new releases or special offers. Here are some tips for effective email marketing. Offer incentives. Provide readers with a compelling reason to join your email list, such as offering a free short story, exclusive content, or a discount on your books. Segment your list. Divide your email list into different segments based on reader preferences, genre interests, or buying behavior. This allows you to send targeted emails that are more likely to resonate with each segment. Provide value. Make sure your emails provide value to your subscribers. This can include sharing writing tips, book recommendations, or exclusive insights into your writing process. Be consistent. Regularly send emails to your subscribers to keep them engaged and informed. However, be mindful not to overwhelm them with too many emails. Building an author platform takes time and effort, but it is a crucial step in establishing yourself as a writer and connecting with your readers. By creating an engaging website, utilizing social media, blogging, and implementing email marketing strategies, you can effectively build your author platform and increase your visibility in the literary world. 12.4 Marketing and promoting your book. Once you have completed the writing and editing process, the next step in your journey as an author is to market and promote your book. Marketing plays a crucial role in reaching your target audience and generating interest in your work. In this section, we will explore various strategies and techniques to effectively market and promote your book. 12.4.1 Identify your target audience. Before you begin marketing your book, it is essential to identify your target audience. Understanding who your ideal readers are will help you tailor your marketing efforts to reach the right people. Consider the genre, themes, and style of your book to determine the demographic that is most likely to be interested in your work. By knowing your target audience, you can create targeted marketing campaigns that resonate with them. 12.4.2 Develop a marketing plan. A well-thought-out marketing plan is crucial for the success of your book. Start by setting clear goals and objectives for your marketing efforts. Determine what you want to achieve, whether it's increasing book sales, building your author brand, or gaining media coverage. Once you have defined your goals, outline the strategies and tactics you will use to reach them. This may include online and offline marketing activities such as social media promotion, book signings, author interviews, and advertising. 12.4.3 Build an author platform. An author platform is a valuable tool for promoting your book and connecting with your audience. It encompasses your online presence, including your website, blog, social media profiles, and email list. Start by creating a professional author website where readers can learn more about you and your work. Regularly update your blog with engaging content related to your book or writing process. Utilize social media platforms to interact with your audience, share updates, and build a community of readers. Additionally, consider building an email list to keep your readers informed about new releases, promotions, and events. 12.4.4 Leverage social media. Social media platforms provide an excellent opportunity to connect with readers and promote your book. Choose the platforms that align with your target audience and focus on building a strong presence there. Engage with your followers by sharing updates, behind-the-scenes content, and sneak peeks of your book. Encourage readers to share their thoughts and reviews, and respond to their comments and messages. Collaborate with influencers or other authors in your genre to expand your reach and gain exposure to new audiences. 12.4.5 Utilize book bloggers and reviewers. Book bloggers and reviewers can be powerful allies in promoting your book. Research and reach out to bloggers who specialize in your genre and offer to provide them with a free copy of your book for an honest review. Positive reviews can help generate buzz and attract new readers. Additionally, consider participating in blog tours or virtual book events where bloggers feature your book on their platforms. Engaging with the book blogging community can significantly increase your book's visibility and credibility. 12.4.6 Engage in book launch events. A book launch event is an excellent opportunity to create excitement and generate interest in your book. Consider hosting a physical or virtual launch party where you can share insights about your writing process, read excerpts from your book, and interact with your readers. Collaborate with local bookstores, libraries, or literary organizations to organize book signings or author talks. These events not only help promote your book but also allow you to connect with your readers on a personal level. 12.4.7 Seek media coverage. Gaining media coverage can significantly boost your book's visibility and reach. Research local newspapers, magazines, radio stations, and podcasts that may be interested in featuring you in your book. Craft a compelling press release highlighting the unique aspects of your book and send it to relevant media outlets. Offer yourself as an expert in your genre for interviews or guest articles. Utilize your author platform and social media presence to share any media coverage you receive, further amplifying its impact. 12.4.8 Offer promotions and giveaways. Promotions and giveaways are effective ways to attract new readers and create buzz around your book. Consider offering limited-time discounts or free ebook downloads to encourage readers to try your work. Host giveaways on social media platforms or collaborate with other authors to create joint promotions. These activities not only help increase your book's visibility but also provide an opportunity to engage with your audience and build a loyal reader base. 12.4.9 Engage in author networking. Networking with other authors can be mutually beneficial in terms of marketing and promotion. Join writing groups, attend author conferences, and participate in online forums to connect with fellow writers. Collaborate on joint marketing initiatives, such as cross-promotions or anthology projects. By supporting and promoting each other's work, you can expand your reach and tap into new audiences. 12.4.10 Continuously evaluate and adapt. Marketing and promoting your book is an ongoing process that requires continuous evaluation and adaptation. Monitor the effectiveness of your marketing efforts by tracking book sales, website traffic, social media engagement, and other relevant metrics. Analyze the data to identify what strategies are working and what needs improvement. Stay updated on the latest marketing trends and techniques, and be willing to adapt your approach to reach your goals. Remember, marketing and promoting your book is an essential part of being an author. By implementing these strategies and techniques, you can increase your book's visibility, connect with your target audience, and ultimately achieve success in the competitive world of publishing.